The Mariners dropped that series opener to the Marlins yesterday in the 10th when Weston Wilson was thrown out on a base running mistake to limit scoring opportunities, and Michael Rucker gave up an RBI single to Jacob Marzi for the Marlins' walk-off win. George Kirby gets the start today as Seattle looks to strike back. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. Pregame show starts at 2:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
I'm not loving this version of the Mariners. You know what? I actually take that back. I want to start the show differently. I want to start the show by saying good on the Mariners for fighting back into this one against a Marlins team that, don't look now, is actually pretty good. They're like 24-8 or something since June 1st. We knew that it would be tough. We talked with Ryan Rowland-Smith yesterday, Bump, and he's like, I'm telling you right now, like, this starting staff is quietly pretty good. You know what I mean? Like, you're going to be surprised at how good the Marlins are playing right now. And I will give the Mariners credit for fighting back into a game that at one point was 4-0. However, I have some things to complain about today, and I know you do too. What'd you make of this one?
It was entertaining. It was an entertaining game.
It was entertaining.
You know, like if you just look at it as just a sports fan, this was an entertaining game. There were some positive. I like seeing the dumper have his moments over there. And we knew coming into this game that the Marlins were going to be tough. We didn't know much about them because we don't really follow the Marlins like that. You just look at them on a piece of paper and you say, oh, they do this well. They do that well.
Every year kind of assume they're bad.
Their record is fine. Yeah, I look at the logo and I just think of bad things.
I just think you're bad.
Yeah, one of those teams. But
the same with the Dolphins.
No, it was a entertaining game. They fall back in, like you mentioned. This came up a little short. Wu seemed to struggle once again on the road. And we saw a whole bunch of bodies out that bullpen. So, I'm not disappointed. I think they still have a chance to go 4-2 like I asked them to do. Probably not going to happen, but it was just one of those games. They're still in first place, so they're all right.
I'm going to put out a real question, and this is for listeners. If you have a response to it, text in 866-979-3776. I'm curious because I have two things I loved, and then I kind of have my issue with this one. But like, if you hated this game or if you left this game being really, really angry, what was it that you were most angry about? Because I think that there are some different answers, and that bump kind of tells the story of maybe what's going on with this team. The thing that I was most frustrated about, well, two things. Number one, I want to know why bullpen arms can't be stretched over multiple innings. Like, I know that Bizzardo or Munoz, Spire's coming off of an injury earlier this year, so maybe he's not included here. But, like, ideally you aren't using your relievers, especially when you want to make a push in October, as long relievers all the time. But you also never really take them out of one inning. So I'm kind of curious as, like, well, why not put Bizzardo out there a little longer once in a while? Why not put Spire or Munoz or whoever? But, like, I'm not mad that it was Rucker in the 10th. Who else were you going to go to? I am frustrated with so many runners left in scoring position. That's what frustrated me.
Yeah, bases were jacked at one point. No outs, and you got nothing out of that, right? Yeah, you know what's weird is I'm not really angry. I'm starting just to come to terms with this is who this team is, and it might be enough to get into the playoffs at this point. I think eventually – we're going to have to see better baseball. I think eventually you're going to have to stretch your relievers a bit more. Eventually, you're going to have to come through clutch with the bases jacked. And so I'm not angry. I'm kind of just gray right now because I understand that Donovan's injured. Julio's not there. Cal is trying to work through some stuff. I did not expect Wu to play to perform well because he doesn't on the road for some reason. He's got some things to work out. So it's weird. I'm in a weird place with this team. Obviously, I don't accept defeat. I'm not saying, oh, it's okay, guys. You guys lost. No, but if I reacted the way I really wanted to every Mariners loss, I start losing hair on my beard. Okay, because I have no more hair up top. All right, my beard. So it's
your body would just start looking for a place.
It's like, come on, we need. All right. So it's weird for me right now because I feel like they have better baseball in them. Dan, I'm going to ask Ryan this later. I don't understand why we have to see so many bodies out that bullpen. Just ride an arm for an inning or two. I'm with you when it comes to that.
That's my critique of Dan there.
Yeah,
I agree.
I'm like, just let it ride out. Like, why do we have to see so many arms?
Yes.
So it's weird. If they were like 4 games behind or something like that, 3 games behind, I think I'd feel a bit different. But because they're half a game now, ask me next week. If they're 2 or 3 games behind, then I might feel a bit different.
Someone said, 253, why don't you guys ever complain about Dan Wilson and his awful coaching decisions? I have complained about Dan. I mean, I think that there's a difference between I'm not going to sit here and go, Dan should be fired. I don't think Dan's a good tactical manager. I don't. And I've said that before. Bump has said that before. I also think that Dan continues to have a pretty good relationship with guys in the clubhouse, and moving on from a guy is a lot more difficult than you think, especially for a team in first place where he's still got quite a few players in his corner because of personal relationships. Mm-hmm. That's my personal opinion about it. But no, I think that my frustration with Dan isn't the decision to put Rucker out there on the 10th. It's what led you to that moment. Like, who else were you going to put out there? Right? That's who you have.
Right.
My problem is like, well, why are you in this position in the first place? Why not stretch Bizzardo out? Genuinely, why? Like, why? That's a Dan frustration that I have. But Weston Wilson making a horrible base running mistake and getting thrown out, I don't like. That's execution. That's on a player.
Yeah.
So Cal and Naylor and a bunch of your guys having opportunities with bases loaded and no outs and not getting those. And I'm really happy with Cal for getting an RBI double, for getting 2 doubles yesterday. I actually think I was really encouraged by what we heard from Ryan Rowland-Smith, who was on with us yesterday, saying Cal is so close. I've been talking with the coaching staff, the hitting staff, and they really think he's on the verge. And you can see improved ABs out there for Cal. I'm encouraged by what we're seeing. Still frustrated that the offense didn't do more. I wish he didn't have to go to the 10th. But, like, I don't know. This isn't one where I, unlike that game where Dan took Bizzardo out and you're wondering, like, what are we doing here with Simpson and Rucker being put out there? This was a game that I think was almost lost before Rucker even went out there.
Yeah.
Like, once they didn't score in the 10th, you're like, yeah, this one isn't yours today.
Here's something I keep seeing pop up on the text lines too, and I have the same question because of what we know of Dan. We've met him several times, right? He doesn't seem like the disciplinarian type of guy. Like we've met Service a few times during our show. Service seems like the disciplinary guy. He will call you out, whether it's makes you uncomfortable, whatever, he'll do it. I don't know if Dan does that. And if he does hold guys accountable, how does he do it? Because at some point, you have to be stern with your ball club. But it has to be natural, too. Like I think Dan can be stern, but I just don't know. That's a question I just don't know because I'm seeing the text lines pop up, and a lot of people are saying that Dan doesn't hold these guys accountable.
I've wondered
I
that.
doubt that Dan just lets everything pass, right? You're not a professional in sports, and you just let your players do whatever they want, or don't let them do whatever. Keep making the same mistakes and not have conversations with them. It's weird because of what I know of Dan. He don't seem like that guy. He's just a nice dude. So I don't know. Well, or is there a coach on the staff that can do that? Or
that's
that does
what I wonder.
Like there has to be someone on the staff that is like, come on, fellas, we can't keep making these same mistakes.
Yes, that's exactly what I wonder, Bump. Like again, just in general, like you, I don't like calling for someone's job. And I don't think that this game, I was more upset with Dan Wilson's decisions like several games ago than I was with this one. With this one, it was kind of like, I love that the team got back into it. They missed a lot of opportunities, including players missing those opportunities. It's hard for me to be just mad at Dan, though the thing I'm frustrated with Dan is why he's not keeping relievers in for more innings.
Yeah.
But I think in general, you need to be very careful about clubhouse chemistry. And with a team that is hanging on to first place, but like clearly not playing up to their talent level and in I don't want to say a fragile place, that's offensive, but in a place where you don't want to rock the boat too much, you do have to be careful with how players respond to your decisions.
Yeah.
And I would guess that a lot of players very much like Dan. I am wondering, like you, okay, well, if Dan's the guy that's like the good guy in their corner, is there a bad guy? Like, who's bad
There
cop?
has to be.
That's what I'm wondering.
There has to be.
Who's going to be out there going, hey, Wilson, come over here for a minute. Don't make that mistake ever again. Or like, hey, guys, we're making way too many errors. Or, hey, guys, like, we need to be better with this. Like, who's that guy?
Yeah, who is it? Is it because it feels like when you keep seeing the same things over and over and over again, it feels like it's not being addressed, right? Or guys to be a bit more cautious while running the bases. That's a big question. Those are the two questions I have about Dan is, okay, can you discipline these guys like grown men? These aren't children, right? You got to talk to them like grown men. And, why can't we have these relievers just stretch it out just a bit more, And I'm sure there's a method to his madness. It makes sense to him and his staff. He's not the only one making these decisions. But it seems like those are the two things that keep popping up when I do see this team lose the way they did.
Mm-hmm. What changes would you want to see moving forward? Like, what's something from this game where you thought, okay, I did like this, but I need to see this? Because for me, I love 2 doubles from Cal. I need to see Cal and Naylor and a bunch of guys do more with runners in scoring position, especially with no outs.
How you going to ask me the question and answer the question?
Because I had my answer, but I know you have a different
that's
one.
my answer, too.
That is?
It's the same answer.
I thought you were going to say stretching relievers over multiple innings.
No, I was going to say that, too.
Okay.
All right, same page, 15.
I am curious, though. I've been like, is Bizzardo... Here's my question for you. If we had some like secret off the record conversation with like, let's say Justin or Dan, and they were like, oh, so we're not stretching relievers over multiple innings because we're trying to keep guys healthy for the playoffs, what would you say?
I would say that makes sense, but let's get into the playoffs. These guys are professionals, man. And they're pros. Their bodies have to be prepared for this. And random things happen. I know you can't predict injuries or whatnot, and you did feel what not having all your guys, last year during the playoffs. I get all that, but you can't be cautious at this point. You're not up 5, 6, 7 games. You're up a half a game now. Like, there has to be some type of sense of urgency when it comes to your decision-making. So I would tell them, yeah, I get that, but you only got a half-game lead right now.
Yes, that's how I feel, where I understand the principle of wanting to keep guys healthy. It's I think half the reason for the piggyback and the 6-man rotation.
Mm-hmm.
Half of it's keeping guys available for trade, and half of it's keeping guys healthy, considering last year you really struggled with injuries there. Regular season wins still very much matter. I'm totally with you on that one.
Yeah.
Like you and think of it in terms of for momentum, for energy, for confidence, for taking pressure off of guys. You know what I mean? The guys that you're still waiting on to compete offensively and to really meet their expectations, like Cal and Naylor.
Yeah.
I would imagine there's a little pressure taken off when the rest of the team is also performing well, and when you feel okay, and when you don't feel so much pressure to swing out of your shoes at a pitch. So
you know who can rest guys and make sure that they're good to go at this point? Like the Dodgers.
Yeah.
14-game lead in their division. Everywhere else is pretty tight. Maybe the Brewers, they got a 7-game lead in their division.
Yeah.
I think they just won yesterday, too. It's there's not many at this point of the season. We talked about this a lot, about, just how weird the league is this year. There's not many who can just sit back and say, all right, let's just be cautious with our guys, says rest. You still got to have a sense of urgency, and that's what I think is missing with this team, a sense of urgency.
Yeah, I agree, and I don't always know exactly what that looks like. Again, I loved them getting back into it.
Yeah, that was cool.
And my expectations were like, can you stay at 500 for a road trip? These are 2 tough teams.
Yeah.
Marlins are good, and the Rays we already know are good. You've struggled on the road. Woo has struggled on the road with the massive road and home splits.
Yeah.
I thought they'd get shut out for a minute there. I was impressed with what I saw, but I just want to see more. I didn't leave this game feeling like, I don't know, like I'd lost hope or like that. I wasn't like livid. I was just like, I need to see more, man. Like you are capable of more. You were getting runners on. You were creating threat, and then you didn't capitalize on it.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that in those moments.
Yep.
All right. Still to come on today's show, one analyst has a theory as to why the Seahawks have been overlooked this offseason. That's coming up at 10:30. Can't wait for Get Off My Lawn at 10:45. And talking baseball with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schusterman at 11 and Seattle Times' Ryan Divish at noon. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number one, crazy finish in the Egypt-Argentina game yesterday. Egypt blowing a 2-0 lead to Argentina in their 3-2 loss in stoppage time. They also had a goal taken off the board via VAR. What's the real headline?
More like Vargentina.
Oh!
Am I right?
Cook 'em.
Are we right?
Asterisk!
Not a real win.
I was there were some shady calls too against the Egyptians during that game. I didn't like the way the Egyptians ended. They lost their class. Everyone's getting yellows. The coach got a red card. I understand the frustration. And it feels like FIFA wants Argentina to do this. You know, it would be a great story. Back-to-back champions, first time since the 50s, I believe, when Brazil did it. Messi going out on top. He's 39. He's the leading goal scorer in this tournament. The story is great. And they've been pushed twice. Cape Verde almost got him. Egypt almost got him. Who they got next? Who they playing next? We know? Who's Argentina playing?
I don't actually know on that app. All I know is it was going to be Norway, England, Spain,
Argentina
Belgium,
and Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yeah.
Oh, on paper, they got the easiest road to the dang semis. Oh, my God. You got Cape Verde, which should have been easy.
Wow, they're the Patriots.
Goes all the way to the top.
Exactly. Switzerland, go do your thing, man. But, yeah, it feels funny, but it's cool to watch Messi do his thing.
I want to talk about a column that I saw on ESPN this morning. It's from Brian O'Hanlon. Hanlon. I thought that was an I. And he wrote kind of in defense of Mauricio Pochettino. He did say, like, hey, here's what Pochettino didn't do well. Here's where coaching kind of failed and where he failed as a coach in this moment. So he wasn't completely void of any criticism for Pochettino. But he also said the head coach is never going to save the national team, which I thought was a heck of a take. And one I don't necessarily disagree with, but I wanted to throw it your way to see what you feel about it and what could save the national team. That's a big question, I know.
What could save our national team?
Yeah, what could help? Like, how does I can accept that the U.S. I can accept a world where the U.S. just doesn't win World Cups. Like, sure. Like, it's just culturally more relevant in different places. But, like, how do you close the gap? I don't get it. I thought that this was the most talented team. I was told
I still think
that this is the most talented team, and they ended the same place that they have every single year since 2002.
I still think this was the most talented team. But it all starts at the bottom, man. I keep saying this. I've been told by the soccer heads that I know across the country that the kids who are now like 15 and 16, like my son's age, that group coming up is a different brand across the country. So we have to wait for our wave. You know, the U.S., we're like the Cougs, man. You get a good team every 6 to 8 years, and you ride that wave. It's just our culture. Our best athletes play other sports. And in other countries like Belgium, soccer is a sport. Argentina, soccer is a sport. So they're getting their best guys out there. But it starts with development, too, man. We got to change our youth programs.
360 agreeing with you. To save the national team, you need to abolish for-profit youth sports. Maybe throwing in there, too, like, you've talked about this a ton, so I'm just asking you to repeat it. But how you incentivize and reward and train at the youth level. Outside of just being so expensive and exclusionary and being something that incentivizes some of the country's best athletes to go into other sports, you were saying we don't develop at that level either because we're so competitive that we want to win at each age instead of allowing kids to, right?
You shouldn't be focused on winning until you're about 15 or 16. Before then, you get 2,000 touches a day, develop the skill, and hope that you grab a 6'5" wing every now and then to convert over to soccer. But lots of things have to happen, but it can be done.
Headline rewrites.
Headline number two, in a statement released to social media this morning, longtime ace Justin Verlander announced he will retire after the 2026 season. What's the real headline?
He can't hurt you anymore, Mariners fans.
Thank God.
He's gone. He's gone now.
Sleep peacefully.
Yeah. I don't, you know what? I haven't thought about Verlander in a long time, honestly. I haven't done it.
I mean, he hasn't been a massive factor for a while, obviously, being, what is he, 40?
43.
43. Wow, I thought he was a little bit younger than that. But
22 years in the game. He hasn't
Hall of
really
Famer.
been like Justin Verlander
In a minute.
since about 2023.
Although was still Justin Verlander at like 38, which was crazy. Yeah, I mean he's gonna be a Hall of Famer. It's but I'm not devastated to see him leave. I have some bad memories on the other side of Justin
I think Bump's
Verlander.
got the worst of it because
Definitely the worst of
2017.
it.
Yeah. Horrible.
You've had it from two sides. As a Mariners fan
Yes.
and Dodgers fan, you're like,
Yes.
yeah, I'm okay to see this guy leave.
That's why I don't think about him. Keep him out of my brain.
Yeah. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 3, in response to Christian Pulisic pulling himself from USA's 4-1 loss to Belgium, Fox analyst and U.S. women's soccer legend Carly Lloyd tweeted, "You rest when your playing career is over, period." What's the real headline?
Where's the lie?
Facts.
I don't have like a joke about this because I loved what she said. I'm not making fun of Carly Lloyd in this moment. I'm not necessarily making fun of Christian Pulisic. I love that she said this.
I'm making fun of Pulisic. That's soft. That's what's wrong with our team right there. That's the leader? That's your leader?
That's what I'm saying.
Come on, man.
Can I also say, why is anyone telling Carly Lloyd she can't speak on this? I don't think Carly Lloyd is ignorant to the idea of like, oh, because I was a women's soccer player and he's a man, like we don't have exactly the same experience. But that's such a dumb way to try to avoid an argument from someone who's succeeded at the highest levels of her sport. Like, I'm sorry, you think that she can't speak on it because she never played for the men's national team?
Look her up. Carly Lloyd is and was a baller. It's the same game, man. All right, men might be faster, stronger, but essentially it's the same game. And women don't flop. Watch that. Watch their games. Women do not flop. So,
yeah. I think I trust a champion to talk about the mindset it takes to get there and what it means to represent your country, what it means to bring your clubhouse or your locker room or your teammates together and to like really fight through things. Trying to say that Carly Lloyd can't say this because there's some technical differences or strength differences or whatever completely voids the reality of her own journey as a champion and that she has rare insight that most people don't have into what it takes mentally and emotionally to get there.
Yeah. She's on a different level.
That's what I'm saying. And like, she's also not saying anything I haven't heard from a ton of people. I've heard so many people say the same thing about Christian Pulisic, that it's like, don't you want someone that has that dog in him to be representing your country? Captain America just said he's happy to get some time to rest.
Carly Lloyd scored 10 goals in 25 World Cup matches. She scored the fastest hat trick ever, 16 minutes against Japan. She won the Golden Ball Award, which is the top performer in the tournament. She has 134 total goals for the national team. Relax.
Yeah.
She can say what she wants to say.
She's a winner, and I want to hear what a winner thinks it takes to win.
Yeah.
That's interesting to me.
And if you haven't seen her play, she was a dog, man. Like, she played aggressive. I loved watching Carly Lloyd play.
And
so,
I want that
yeah.
mentality from the players that are on the U.S. men's team, and some of them do.
I'm sure they have it.
Yeah.
Pulisic don't have it, though.
Yeah. So, yeah, I shout out Carly Lloyd, a great point, and I could talk about that endlessly, but we have some other stuff to get to. I don't know how many people would argue that the Super Bowl winning Seahawks haven't been overlooked this offseason. I think we can all agree they have. But is it just because we're tucked away here in the Pacific Northwest, or is there something even weirder at play? One analyst has a theory next.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last dent. Accurate Auto Body.
As a fitness coach, my active psoriatic arthritis can slow me down. With Skyrizi, Risankizumab Riza, I'm treating my skin and joint symptoms so I can keep moving. Skyrizi, a prescription-only injection for adults, helps me move with less joint pain, stiffness, swelling, and fatigue. And for those who have plaque psoriasis, 90% clearer skin is possible. With Skyrizi, there's no daily dosing. It's just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight that may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing like clearer skin and better movement. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZI to learn more.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Your local Bryant dealer can make sure your system is up to the task. Whether it's maintaining your current system or installing an energy-efficient Bryant Evolution cooling system with perfect Humidity Plus technology, your dealer will give you what you need to help your family beat the heat. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. That's BryantNorthwest.com. Bryant, whatever it takes.
People want to do business with someone they can trust, not be a car salesman, then they feel more comfortable with you, and just the experience is better on both sides.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I had a young woman who was on a new SUV, and she had attachments to her old car because it was her first car, and she was very fiscally responsible. It was almost making her sick. The best path at that point was to, let's stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Michael is in his 70s, and he was dealing with an injury.
I had tears in my rotator cuff. Just the discomfort of going about everyday life. Day-to-day things were not comfortable or almost impossible, but just being inactive was troubling.
He was in a great deal of pain.
I started trying to learn how to brush my teeth with my left hand, and you can't do it. It was ridiculous.
Searching for answers, Michael found Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine, where he underwent stem cell therapy.
You know, I played basketball Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and so I'm getting my shot back. It's not back to where it was, but hey, before I couldn't even do anything. So 100% improvement of what it was.
Wow, that's great to hear. Would you recommend stem cell therapy to others?
I can share without a doubt that it helped me, and I'm grateful for that.
Whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated insulation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit EastsideExterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
Olympic Hot Tub's All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event is here. Now's the time to save thousands on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna. With up to 3 years to pay for it, interest-free. OlympiChotTub.com. Better you, better life.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump, I don't think you would disagree with the idea that the Seahawks haven't gotten nearly as much attention or respect or coverage as they deserve as a Super Bowl winner, right?
Agree.
Yeah. I've always thought, Seattle, the new favorites, LA, huge market. Rams have always been popular, and that I've kind of chalked it up to that.
Mm-hmm.
You as well? Similar?
Yeah.
I think so too. Another analyst has a different opinion. This is Yahoo Sports' Matt Harmon. He's on Football 301 with Nate Tice, talking about what he thinks it is.
They don't have like a divisive quarterback at this point anymore. I think we all kind of have level set to what Sam Darnold is. And yeah, they've returned the offensive player of the year in Jackson Smith-Njigba, who is a very likable and very easy player to root for. So just like, I think that's part of it as well. The offensive line, there's some continuity, defensive continuity. There's just not a lot to debate here other than I guess they took a first round running back, which some people will have big feelings about, but it was the 32nd overall pick. So it's really not that offensive. Yeah. They haven't done anything crazy. And I mean that complimentary. And that's kind of just why we haven't really talked about them.
In an NFL media world that is completely focused on drama and storylines and trades and blockbuster deals and all kinds of weird things, the Seahawks aren't making headlines. What weird or dramatic thing have the Seahawks done this offseason? The most dramatic thing with the Seahawks is, okay, they haven't reached an agreement on an extension with Devin Witherspoon. There's no drama. There's no craziness.
Yeah, there isn't.
There's nothing spicy.
It's nice and quiet. It's no reality TV for you.
It's a boring offseason.
It is. And I'll take boring. I mean, it makes our job harder because there's nothing to really talk about at times.
Selfishly.
Yeah, it's like, all right, nothing's happened over there at VMAC. But big picture, that is a good thing. That means everything is organized. Everything is in place. They have an identity. They have a direction. Now, things are going to start happening here pretty soon once training camp gets going, and there are going to be some injuries, who's coming back, who's not going to be there. And then we'll have some stuff to talk about. But I don't mind being low-key either, and I don't think Coach McDonald minds it either. I think that's the way they want to operate. They're low-key to the public, but when you're in that building, you feel and see what's going on.
I don't think that this is necessarily like a theory we've never heard or even never discussed. Like we've kind of talked about, like, oh, they didn't make a big trade for Trent McDuffie or draft a quarterback at number 13 overall or make a trade for Myles Garrett. The Rams did.
Yeah.
That they've been dominating headlines. Like we've talked about how the Rams are just doing things and the Seahawks, aren't making big signings. But I think it's still interesting to hear that, like, that's very much true for people outside of Seattle. That when there are teams that command your attention, it's Mike Vrabel for having an affair. and suddenly you're talking about the Patriots and their offseason and acquiring A.J. Brown. It's the Eagles for, oh, my God, did A.J. Brown not go to a wedding? Or did Jalen Hurts not go to the wedding or whatever it was? That, like, yeah, acquiring Myles Garrett helps the Rams, but sometimes there are teams that stay in the headlines for things that aren't necessarily benefits for their team, but it keeps them really, really relevant. The Cowboys are experts with this. The Eagles are experts with this. And the Seahawks just aren't. Like, and you think of the personalities, too. He mentions JSN being, like, pretty likable, low-key guy.
Yeah.
Signed his contract, no holdout.
Well, we're still waiting on Spoon. There's something.
Still waiting on Spoon.
There's something. We're still waiting on Spoon. And you're right. There was the Hawks didn't need to get Myles Garrett. Would I have loved for them to do it? Yeah, for sure. Who wouldn't want Myles Garrett? The Hawks didn't need to get a corner in Trent McDuffie to help that secondary or safety in Jalen Watson. They didn't need that kind of stuff. They feel like they have it in-house or they're going to draft and develop that. And it's just a different approach. What's going to cause more reaction is going to be making those big moves. And I'm not knocking the Rams for doing it. You know why? Because the Rams are trying to catch the Seahawks. The Seahawks aren't trying to catch the Rams. The Rams did get better. They have the best defender in the game, in my opinion, and they should be talked about. When you look over here, I think what most people see is, oh, Kobe's not there. Oh, Boy is not there. K-Not's not there. So now they're really thinking, okay, well, they're not going to be a threat when, I mean, I believe that Jadarn's going to be okay. I think when Charbonnet comes back, he'll be fine. I think the secondary is going to be just fine. I like Neal. I like Bud Clark. I like Ty Okada. I like Jay Love. It's just things are in order over here. Do you have to get better every single year? Yes, you do. How do you do that? Schematically, and with these new rookies that personnel are coming in, it's just a bit different.
Do you think it speaks to maybe still a lack of understanding that a national audience has about what worked for Seattle last year?
Say it again?
So, like, a lot of people focused on Reek Woolen leaving in free agency, Ken Walker leaving, and I do think the running back room is a area of concern for Seattle, or to be fair, a question mark for Seattle. But, like, I feel like people are kind of focused nationally on some of the wrong things, so they were waiting for headlines there. Right. They were waiting when Reek Woolen left for Seattle to make some big trade for a Trent McDuffie type, and then they didn't, so they were like, what are you going to do now at corner? And I don't think that's really a relevant conversation to have for Seattle. I think the relevant conversations are ones that are more boring and people don't talk about. No one's talking about, like, who's Brian Fleury and what's he going to look like. That's not something I see on SportsCenter. What I see on SportsCenter is, like, how did the Seahawks get by the Rams because they have no response for Myles Garrett?
And I think that it should, and I'm okay. It should be that, because they do have Myles Garrett. Like, we can't sit here and ignore what the Rams have done, right? I think you and I and a lot of people listening believe that the Seahawks are still more than capable of getting it done. But, yeah, when people click on the TV or they click an article or listen to a podcast, they're going to want to hear about these moves that are being made. So I don't let those moves kind of determine the way I look at the Seahawks, because I just believe in what they have going on over here. But I respect what the Rams have done. You got to respect Myles Garrett, Trent McDuffie, and all that stuff. Hey, I see you over there, but you don't know until you line up. And then also, because of conversations we've had with players, Mike got something up his sleeve right now.
Yeah.
He's adding stuff to this defense. The real question, the bigger question, Sam Darnold and Fleury, what's that going to look like?
Is that why Seattle's not trendier? Why isn't Seattle a popular pick? Why isn't Seattle trendy? Why isn't Seattle outside of not like making, like, if Seattle would have traded for Myles Garrett, the Seahawks would be all over headlines. I'm not, you know what I mean? Like, we know that they didn't make big moves and that the Rams did, and it's not like people are just going, we like LA better. The Rams have made moves and put themselves in headlines.
Yeah.
But, like, why isn't Seattle trendier? Like, why? I don't know. Why are people overlooking it? Like, I agree with this guy that, like, there's not a lot of drama, sure, but, like, why not even, like, the sexy pick? You know what I'm saying? Like, when the people were, like, all over the Bears when they took Caleb Williams and they were, like, a year too early? Or, like, this year I feel like people are really into, like, oh, my God, the Giants might figure it out. Like, the Giants might win the NFC East. What if they win the NFC East? And it's, like, based on what? Like, yeah, they might. Absolutely. But it's kind of just, like, the trendy pick that year. Why isn't Seattle that? Like, why isn't Seattle a trendy, cool team that people care about?
So people still don't believe in Sam. And they look at the offensive coordinator. First time he's going to be calling plays. They got to see what happens. And I think, as messed up as it is, I think it's fair. You don't know what Fleury's going to do. You don't know. Sam has another offensive coordinator to work with. It is a legit, not a concern for me. I'm just waiting to see what it looks like. Yeah, so I think that's why. When you look at the Rams, they've been doing this for almost a decade now. They've been in the mix. Sean McVay, great coach. You got Matthew Stafford. They have more of a foundation, or they have just a history of being able to rinse and repeat. The Hawks don't have that yet. They do it this year. If the Hawks make a run at it this year, now I'm thinking people will jump on the bandwagon and say, okay, Sam's for real legit, and they got something brewing over there. As long as we don't lose our coordinator, man. And that's what I'm scared of. You have a good year, go to Super Bowl, people are going to be coming after your coordinator.
Coming up at 11, Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schusterman talking Mariners, what he saw from last night's game, what he's looking for the rest of the series, and from this team before the All-Star break. Ryan Divish joining us at noon for a conversation about this game. We asked him, like, hey, tell us a bit about Dan's decision-making, and also, why aren't relievers being left in for more innings? That was kind of the question Bump and I had. So, again, that's 11 and noon. Get Off My Lawn coming up next.
It is off the wall, and that is it. Marlins have walked off the Mariners 6-5.
I mean, you got to look at the offense on this one.
It's a tough one. The close ones like that are a little bit more tough to deal with.
There were opportunities that went by the wayside.
Mariners could have won this game.
Who are the Seattle Mariners?
A very difficult team to get a handle on.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. Game 2. First pitch at 3:40, 2:30 pregame. Listen anywhere on the free Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this waterman is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is the job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Dave Wyman here, and the folks at Bellevue Rare Coins say higher prices have enticed more Americans to cash out their jewelry, gold, and silver items. Here's a story from a real customer. She walked into Bellevue Rare Coins with an old bag of jewelry, a little bit nervous, a little bit embarrassed because it was mostly old tangled chains and pieces she hadn't looked at in years. When they gave her the total, she couldn't believe what it was worth. Go see what your jewelry is worth with a free consultation. Bellevue Rare Coins is now in Linwood, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Bellevue.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
D.R. Horton's National Red Tag Sales Event starts this Friday, July 10th. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. For the Puget Sound, that means local service including burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and custom security designed to work with business operations. Bay Alarm has real people rooted in your community looking out for your business. After 8 decades and 3 generations of family ownership, our promise is still the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Today's pitching matchup brought to you by Eastside Exterminators. George Kirby squares off against Miami's Tyler Phillips. We're going to preview the rest of this series, that is, with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schusterman coming up in less than 15. Right now, Bump's got three things grinding his gears. It's time for Get Off My Lawn. Bump, what's going on?
I'm a man.
What's happening?
There's a lot happening. One, I want to say big ups to everyone who was downtown for the U.S. men's team. It was for that game. It was fun. Pre-game energy was dope. After it was a little down, but
I saw your interviews.
Vibes were good.
Someone on Instagram called you Biceps Bump.
I appreciate that.
Wow, looking swole out there.
You know what I did this morning?
Gassing
I did
you
more
up.
biceps.
That's
I'm like,
right.
oh yeah,
That's right.
Oh yeah.
This ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Just wanted to show some love there, but remember 2010?
Like it was yesterday.
The Decision. Remember that?
Yeah.
LeBron James. The Decision. LeBron, don't make this all about you again, dog. It's year 23 for you. Just get this thing over with. Let's not draw this thing out. You don't need to meet at the Boys and Girls Club and have cameras there or whatnot. This will tell me so much about LeBron, how he handles this. Say he does stretch it out, but he's rogue. Like no one sees him. He's out on the yacht in Italy or whatever doing his thing. Just don't do this again, LeBron. And do the right thing. You know what the right thing is? Go back to Cleveland. Go home. They got a good team over there. Just go home. You probably got like 3 matches over there. Your family's there. Let's just not make this thing a huge deal. It is year 23. You will no longer be the centerpiece of a team. You will be the second, probably the third option. Don't do this to us again. I don't really care. If you did do it, I'm not watching it. But just don't make this. I just don't want that ego, man. I know LeBron has a big ego, right? He be lying about little things all the time.
Books.
And he has a huge ego. Don't do this again. The Decision was whack. I'm mad I watched it in 2010. I will not watch it again.
Now, are you being honest? Because if Braun said, hey, streaming right now is The Decision.
I'm not watching it.
Are you positive?
Positive. I'm not watching it. Do the right thing and go back to Cleveland.
What's next?
All right.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Senegal. These guys had a good World Cup. Lost to Belgium, right? Belgium beat Senegal? Yeah. Lost to Belgium. And the team was stranded in the States for a few days. They were stranded. They did not have a return flight back. Stranded for a few days. And then Uruguay, their federation made them fly commercial home. Didn't get them ejected. They were mad because they lost. And then there's some people affiliated with Senegal who are still in Seattle today who have not gotten a flight back. What's going on with y'all? Uruguay, I understand your country's mad. The federation is mad at you. But come on, man. Come on, man. Get them a little private jet and fly them home. They have to fly commercial. That's some petty stuff right there.
And you know they were in like 32E.
Hey. Sit 90 degrees for 8 to 9 hours. It's ridiculous. Then in Senegal, I'm like, come on, y'all got to get organized. Get organized. Get your return flights. There's still people here who are stuck in Seattle. The soccer team left maybe like a day or two ago. They've been gone. They've been done for like 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
All right. Unless y'all had an extended stay and gave them per diem to go explore the city or whatnot, but it doesn't sound that way. It's just it's a bad look for soccer, man. One team making them go back commercial. The other team had to wait a few days before they were able to go, and then they still have some people connected to the team in Seattle today.
Do you think it's punishment?
No, I mean,
or a lack of planning?
With Senegal, no one thought they were going to win.
Okay.
No one thought they won the World Cup. It's like a planning. Uruguay, they just mad. They mad.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
that's
mad.
crazy punishment.
Crazy punishment.
Christian wants you to lay off LeBron.
I will never lay off LeBron. For 8 years, I had to watch him wear my team's jersey. Yeah, we got a championship in the bubble.
Don't forget the in-season tournament.
The in-season tournament.
Hang the banner.
Hang the banner.
But for 8 years, I couldn't root for my team the way I wanted to root for him. I respect LeBron. I said this before. LeBron is like Drake. I understand who you are. I understand what you've done for the industry. You're just not my cup of tea, right? I don't hate you, but you're not my cup of tea. So for 8 years, I couldn't cheer for my team the way I wanted to cheer for them because of LeBron. So thank you. Good riddance. Thanks for the in-season tourney. Thanks for the bubble championship. You're not going to get a statue. I swear to goodness, if y'all try to get this man a statue in front of crypto.
He's getting a statue.
I will personally go down there with my truck and pull that thing down.
What's last?
Last one.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
If you have my number and you've been texting me, you ain't going to reach me. All right? You're not going to reach me. I've been locked out of my phone.
I knew this was going to be.
I've been locked out of my phone for 4 days now. All right?
This is the oldest thing about you this week.
This is what I think happened.
What I suspect.
I gave my mom my phone. She tried to log into my Apple ID. It looked like some fraudulent stuff going on. They locked me down. They say 24 hours. We got to verify that issue. You should be good. I go, cool, 24 hours. I can do that.
Yeah, fine.
That was Monday.
Okay.
I can do that.
I'm grown.
I go back to my account. It extended another 24 hours. I'm like, what? Then I look at it today. It says 2 more days until I have access to my Apple ID.
I think they're pranking you.
2 more days. Apple, I appreciate your security, but it's me. What information do you want? You want my social, birthday, my last 10 addresses? I'll give you whatever you need. But since Sunday, I have not had my phone. And for a little bit, access to my phone. A little bit has been a little liberating. It's like, people just can't.
Yeah.
Just a little hit.
I don't have these conversations.
It's 2000 again.
I don't have to have these conversations.
You can get a house
phone.
phone.
I'm also like, no, man, I need my phone. I need to be able to communicate. I got to talk to my babies. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Apple. I know what you're saying. What you're doing with your security, but you're killing me, Smalls. You are killing me.
So,
it is Wednesday.
I have a follow-up question for me. One for me. Have you gone into an Apple store?
I have not. They say they can't do anything. It's locked. They told me if I go to the store, it is my Apple ID. It's not the actual phone that's locked.
Bump,
it's access to all my information.
Now,
it's locked.
I'm going to say something right now, okay? My delegation gets a lot of flack fairly for our tendency to want to speak to a manager.
Yeah. It's kind of our go-to move.
However,
I've spoken to higher than a manager.
However, if I may, I think I could solve this for you in 10 minutes.
No.
Wow.
I'm telling you right now.
I bet you can't. I guarantee you cannot.
I have had friends be like, can you be on the phone with Comcast? Because I am and I'm never rude, but like, look, have I been Tracy?
You bring out your inner Karen. Yeah.
My inner Karen, Tracy Rost, comes out and like, I'm just saying like, when it's kind of like I take your advice about football because you've played and it's like you've been there and you understand your like X's and O's. Consider me the analyst on can I speak to your manager? And I'm telling you right now, if you walk into that Apple store with your phone and you say, I'm not leaving until you unlock my phone, whatever 22-year-old is working there will unlock your phone.
That's what they're there for. They're like tech support.
Turn this into a bet right now.
This is what you're missing. It's not the phone being locked. It's access to my Apple ID with all of my stuff.
Yeah, they're magicians. They can do anything. If you just walk in there, you put it on the table and you say, listen, I'm not leaving this store. And you know what? I'll buy something too. Like, what do I need to buy?
I ain't buying nothing.
Unlock my phone. I would bet money that they can unlock it that day.
I'm going to go to the store after this show, and when they tell me the same thing that 5 people from India told me.
Then let me know.
All right? I will let you know.
Then let me know. You know what? Let me go in. Let me go in with you and just be a hype man just right next to you.
You guys go to the Apple store together? The nearest one's what? Probably like UW?
U Village.
Yeah.
There's one at U Village, yeah.
I hate that place.
It's big, though. I mean, there's like 2,000
Will you give a go
there.
dogs if they fix your phone?
If they fix my phone, I'll give it that.
Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schusterman joins us next.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smolian announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader.
Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoy the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to harleyexteriors.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best. But I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
When you're injured in a motorcycle crash, don't settle for firms that say they're motorcycle lawyers. Trust the ones who actually live it, because you need someone who understands the ride. It's Bob Stelton here, and for 25 years, Law Tigers has helped thousands of riders. One mission only, to serve the motorcycle community. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. That's why riders have trusted Law Tigers, because this isn't just what they do, it's who they are. They're there 24/7, 365 days a year, because riders deserve real support whenever they need it. Your case evaluation is always free, and there are no fees until your case settles. They're going to help you get your bike and your gear repaired or replaced, because they know how much those things mean to you. Law Tigers, 25 years strong and still riding with you. Call 1-800-LAW-TIGERS or visit lawtigers.com. Again, that's 1-800-LAW-TIGERS. With Law Tigers, you never ride alone. Law Tigers, Washington's motorcycle lawyers. Cook Law Office, PLLC, 539 Broadway, Unit 104, Tacoma, Washington, 98402.
If you've been in a wreck or a fender bender,
You have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility, not just where your insurance company tells you to go. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. With over 25 years of auto repair work, they'll exceed your expectations.
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
At Accurate Auto Body, all their work is performed by certified technicians, only using OEM parts to guarantee the safety of you and your family. For the best in auto body collision repair and customer service, give them a call at 425-883-2450 or AccurateAutoBodyWA.com. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series opener to the Marlins yesterday in the 10th inning when Weston Wilson was thrown out on a base running mistake to limit scoring opportunities, and Michael Rucker gave up an RBI single to Jacob Mercy for the Marlins' walk-off win. George Kirby gets the start today as Seattle looks to strike back. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 2:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Talking MLB and Mariners with Yahoo Sports' Jordan Schusterman. Jordan, how's it going?
Happy Wednesday, guys. I am doing just fine.
I am torn about what we saw from the Mariners. And shame on me for letting myself feel anything about a game on July 7th. But here we are. I appreciated that Seattle was able to scratch and claw their way back into a game against a pretty hot Marlins team where they were down 4-0. And I liked that was as a result of Randy playing through what looked like a tough injury after being hit by a pitch, some good base running from Josh Naylor, and an RBI double from Cal Raleigh. Right? We've been waiting to see Slug. So I liked not only that they got back into it, but the way that they did. I was also still so disappointed to see them not able to get that win. What should we be taking about just kind of where the Mariners are? Still frustrating, but maybe showing signs of progress. I can't tell what to make of it, Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, let me just it's so funny because you just get used to these things. You go, you talk about the season, and everything gets so normal so quickly. You just become so you're like, of course, this is how things are going. But I'm sorry to focus in and listen. It's nothing personal to these two individuals I'm about to say, but I'm sitting here laughing as you're preparing to bring me in here. You go, Weston Wilson thrown out on the bases, and Michael Rucker loses it in extras, and it's like, if you had said that was the sentence for any reason at any point before the season, a month ago, right? 2 months ago, right? Like these are not players we were expecting to be talked about in any sort of important situation.
And it's really a shame this guy I didn't know a month ago didn't get it done.
So I'm torn. Like that's not to make an excuse for them, and again, it's not to be overly harsh on some of the players that have been pressed into action. Some of whom have stepped up and given some quality at bats or quality innings, but it's just so hard to evaluate this team because of how many guys have come in and out of the lineup, because of the degree to which they're going hot and cold. And listen, that doesn't necessarily excuse it. I definitely agree with a lot of what you said, that there were still parts of that game that I think could be considered encouraging. But you could also say, why was it even close at the end? Why didn't they couldn't score with bases loaded and nobody out in the 5th or the 6th, right? With a righty coming in to face a bunch of lefties. So there were missed opportunities there as well. Anytime you lose in extras in modern extra innings, it's going to be frustrating almost no matter what. And so yeah, I do think, but forget pretty hot Marlins team. I mean, this is the hottest team in baseball and has been for 6 weeks. So definitely shouldn't discount the opponent there either.
We're trying to figure out why Dan doesn't stretch these relievers out a bit further. Everyone gets an inning. It's like, what was that, Oprah?
Everyone gets a car, which is cool.
But
I'd love
it.
But
not 2 cars. Never more than one.
Never more than one. Do you like this? Why and why? Just enlighten me.
It certainly doesn't surprise me at this point. I mean, I think the only guy we've seen really pushed is Ferrer because he's available every day and can go all the time. But even he, which has made it even more frustrating when, in some cases, when it seems like he should obviously go more than one inning and he doesn't. But in Bizardo, I think we've seen stretch. But obviously, Munoz very rigid, brash when he's been healthy, very rigid, and that's understandable with his, durability issues. Munoz is a little bit of a different story because he does use him so selectively. And when you have some close games like this, you're always weighing the long term and whether, a tie game, whatever. But yeah, I mean, 10 pitches. And I just, that felt after an off day and facing a really good team with the state of the bullpen right now. Sorry to bring Michael Rucker back into this. It's such a gigantic drop off after that in terms of who's available. I know that you're thinking big picture and you don't want to burn Munoz in games that you're not necessarily guaranteed to win, whatever, but you're really not giving your team the best chance to win. And it really is that simple. And that could be applied in so many different ways with some of the Dan Wilson bullpen management. But this is an example, where I understand you don't want your closer going out there. Up downs are important for relievers. It's not just the number of pitches. It is going and sitting down and going back out there. That is a significant thing that all teams are wary of. So it's not just the Mariners. But I think in this case, it was a little bit disappointing to not see Munoz just get one more, right? To just get one more chance there.
I wanted to jump to Cal and Naylor. If I had to highlight the thing I wish would have been different, it would be Cal and Naylor and the guys that they're counting on doing something with bases loaded. That's ultimately where I'm you shouldn't have been, like you said, you shouldn't have been in the 10th looking at Michael Rucker. It's come on, Michael. Your first name's Michael, right? You shouldn't have been in that position. I also feel encouraged by Cal getting 2 doubles. The AB with the RBI double late, which looked like it was just feet away from a home run, was really encouraging too. What should our expectation be? What's your expectation of Cal? I shouldn't say what should ours be, right? How about you? Kind of, you're well connected. Yeah. You keep an eye on the Mariners and on every team, but still a national voice. Tell me how you're seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, it is just, it's slowly, I mean, we talk about it every week in the context of how important is it to the Mariners and whether it, but let's zoom out, as you just said, right? I do think at some point it's just, and yes, injuries are part of this, but if Cal stays healthy for the rest of the season, he's still going to have a pretty sizable sample size of play, right? I mean, he's still going to have probably more than 100 games and, close to 400 plate appearances. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what precedent there is for this kind of fall off. I don't forget 60 homers. I mean, even if he was coming down from what he'd been before that, we'd be like, oh my God, what's wrong with Cal, right? Mm-hmm. So that's not to say that I think he's doomed to be a 68 OPS plus hitter for the rest of the season. And I think that there have still been signs along the way where it's okay, yep, there he is. The pulled fly balls looking better, hitting the ball hard. But yeah, it's not that he's running out of time to be an important part of the team. But in terms of just what his stats are going to look like at the end of the year, almost no matter what, we're going to be looking at a historic fall off. And there's really no other way to put that, and does become a really interesting season and just an interesting story in and of itself, regardless of what it means for the Mariners.
I believe we asked you this last week, but I'm going to do it again because things change. Any names that you think the Mariners should go after at the trade deadline?
Yeah, I think again everybody's going to be like, okay, where are those right-handed hitters? And there's just not a lot to choose from. I have to imagine Taylor Ward in Baltimore is still going to be one that a lot of teams are going to be calling on. He would make a lot of sense for Seattle as well. I mean, you want to dream super big, right? You're looking at someone like Wilson Contreras, who's been outstanding. Now that's not a perfect fit. Obviously, he's been an everyday first baseman and a good one. I don't know if he would be an everyday DH situation, let alone catch or any other positions. But I mean, if he is available, he is going to be the best hitter available that I can really see, right? I don't think Buxton is going to be relevant. CJ Abrams is kind of his own story with the Nationals. Guys like Arise are interesting, but not right-handed and have their own defensive limitations who don't necessarily fit on the roster. So not going to be a lot of obvious choices. I do think that Ward is still the one to watch. And I still think that they need to add a reliever or two. And I say every year, there's really no excuse to not add a reliever or two. So I will definitely hold them and a lot of other teams to that. But yeah, we're still kind of in a bit of a muddy stage. And I do think clarity is coming, even with the deadline later than ever, being on August 3rd.
Yeah. I kind of a weird one for you. So bear with me while I kind of explain why I'm asking here,
ready.
Jordan. But your conversations with Jake make you kind of a perfect person to answer this. Not just because they're really fun, but because you guys have to look league-wide so often in your analysis. Bump and I have been, especially lately for obvious reasons, pointing to the whole of the American League. And for that matter, kind of stepping back with MLB as a whole, going, hey, look at the all-star rosters, man. Like, it's been kind of a weird year. And pretty regularly when we talk about that, we get one or two, not a lot of people, but a couple people that go like, that doesn't make me feel better. Like, there's no excuse. I'm so sick of someone saying, but the Mariners are still in first place. And while I might usually have been critical of trying to frame the Mariners as doing something good when they're not, I also do feel like that's relevant information this year. I feel like taking a step back for any like game by game analysis of any team right now kind of requires taking a step back and looking at where the league is. So my question for you is, if you and Jake in your conversations about including like National League teams find yourself doing that maybe a little more than you have in years past.
Oh, for sure. And you mentioned the All-Star rosters. We had a conversation on the pod this morning about that specifically. And some of that is injury related. Actually, a lot of that is injury related, not just the guys like Cal Raleigh and Jose Ramirez, who now Jose Ramirez was having a great season before he got injured, but guys that won't be at the All-Star game, at least in part due to injuries, but also guys that made the team like Aaron Judge, now Buxton pulling out, Trout, we still don't even know if he's going to be available for the game. I'm optimistic that he'll be there. Yeah, it's just a lot of familiar guys, not to mention the mass exodus of National League or of AL stars that have gone to the NL in free agency or in trades over the last handful of years. So that said, I don't think it totally explains just how bad the AL has been because of just how disappointing some of these teams have been, whether it is Boston and Detroit and obviously Seattle still qualifies as that when you compare it to preseason expectations. But yeah, I guess I would say that, like, I don't think that teams themselves, I think the AL teams themselves are balancing it pretty quick. Talking to people that work for these teams, they are just as like upset with their own performance, but also are like, it's not like, yeah, they're right. They're right there. If you're the Tigers, you're still 9 games under 500, but the way the Tigers have been playing over the last month, they're not thinking about trading Tarek Skubal. And why would they, right? I mean, they have played their way out of that conversation, at least for now. There's still time to fall back out of it because their record is still pretty bad. And that is still the thing I will still give the Mariners credit on is they have never, and yes, again, the division is a big part of it, but they haven't lost 3 in a row since the middle of May. I mean, think about how bad it's felt to watch it. A lot of series losses, winning the first one, losing the next 2. But if I'm looking at this correctly, yeah, they haven't lost 3 in a row since the middle of May when they were swept by the Padres. And I mean, that's the thing. Like that is a trait of a team whose floor is pretty high. And I think that that's what they've proven is that they have enough talent. And certainly this is where the starting pitching becomes such an advantage, even with the inconsistencies, even from those guys, is that odds are you're going to get a really good start at some point during a week. And so that prevents you from falling into skids. And unlike a lot of these other teams that have just looked awful over like 2-week stretches, the Mariners just haven't quite gotten to those lows as frustrating as they've been. They've lost 2 in a row plenty of times, right? Because a lot of series losses. But yeah, and so that's why, like, it'll be interesting to see how they finish the first half. This is true for everybody. How you finish the first half, like the vibes carrying into the All-Star break are always so interesting interesting. And I mean, think about last year, right? We're not going to talk again before the All-Star break. Think about, do you guys remember the week before the All-Star game last year? Because it's such a, it was such a swing. You have the Brian Wu perfect game on Thursday that turns into a like catastrophic loss, getting swept by the Yankees. And that was like, oh my God, what a, just an awful showing against another elite team. And then what do? They go to Detroit and score like 100 runs and sweep the Tigers. And, you know, vibes are good. So a lot can happen over these next 5 games. The Marlins are an interesting team. The Rays are an interesting team. But yeah, I mean, let's see how they finish this first half, because it doesn't guarantee anything for any reason, but it will set the tone for the conversations we're having if it's next week or the week after.
He is Jordan Schusterman. I just realized we won't be able to talk to you until then. So I can't wait to check back in when we have not just the rest of this road trip, but also maybe some newsy updates, home run derby stuff. We can't wait to get a chance to check in with you. Baseball Barbie Cast for the latest from Jordan. Until then, he is Jordan Schusterman. Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, what do you think is a real possibility in 2028?
2028, the Olympics are going to be here. In 2028, flag football will be in the Olympics. It's a real possibility the U.S. don't win. It's a real possibility. And the reason why it's a real possibility is because if you've watched flag football, you've watched 7-on-7, it's such a streaky game. It's not like regular football where your offensive line controls the line, your defense controls the line. You move the ball down methodically. It's such a fast-paced game that anything can happen. I've seen, for example, a few years ago, I took a team, one of my 7-on-7 teams made nationals. We go down to Atlanta. Out of the best like 25 teams in the country, we finished 2nd place. And I'm talking about we're playing against dudes are LSU, Alabama, Georgia. On my side, we got Whitworth, PLU. You know what I mean? Like,
PLU.
But we just, it's such a streaky game. You just get hot and things happen. I just read an article with Josh Allen saying that he would love to be a part of the team. And I thought to myself, that don't guarantee anything, though. So 2028, Olympics are going to have flag football. It's going to be fun to watch, but don't just think the U.S. is going to go up in there and win.
I will say, though, this is where my kind of World Cup reasoning gets flipped. Like with the World Cup and with the U.S. men losing, I was like, well, we're so good at other things. You know what I mean? I'm not mad about that.
Uh-huh.
I know it's flag football, but we start losing with football?
I'm saying it's...
I'm going to rage blackout.
It's for real.
I'm going to break things.
Don't break anything.
I don't think I can. 2nd down. I think if I tried to punch a wall, maybe, depending on what it was made of, if it was like straw. What's something you wish would happen to Lumen?
I was watching the World Cup, and I thought to I said this to my homie, I was like, man, why does Lumen look so beautiful right now? And he said, because of the grass. I go, you're right. The grass just makes it pop, man. All the angles, big ups to all the producers and with the camera shots, they made Seattle look so beautiful. It reminded me how beautiful Seattle is. But Lumen itself, that grass just pops. Now, understand that soccer's different than football. You don't have 300-pound guys going at it in the middle of the field, digging into the grass like you do with soccer, so it's easier to maintain. But, man, I wish they would keep that dang grass, man. It is so beautiful. It was like I was born in Seattle. I was so proud of Seattle. I'm like, look at that shining. People are out. The sun shined for you a few times. But that grass, man, was popping. I wish we could keep it.
A question that you might not have the answer to, so I recognize that. Maybe we look it up later. How many NFL stadiums do have natural grass?
I don't know. Not many, though.
Right?
Not many.
And is it just the ones where it's like let's say in Arizona, where you're like, oh, well, you don't have to worry as much about how difficult it is to maintain if it gets super muddy, or I wonder what works for the stadiums that do have it.
All right, so AI says half of the stadiums.
Half? That's more than I would
15.
think. I thought it would be like maybe a third.
You got Arizona, Baltimore, Chicago, Cleveland, Denver, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas City, Vegas, Miami, Philly, Pittsburgh, San Fran, Tampa Bay, and Tennessee. I thought it was going to be like 5 or 6.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
3rd down. What did Broncos players do that you love?
Sean Payton doesn't seem like the nicest guy to me. Forget how you feel about Russell Wilson. I don't like the way he treated Russell. I don't like the way the Broncos organization treated Russell. Russell did bring a lot of that upon himself, though, with his diva ways. So whenever Sean Payton can be humbled a little bit, I'm all for it. And what happened was, it was 4th and 11, overtime against the Bills. He called a fake punt, and his players didn't run it. And he said, I don't know what they saw. Sean Payton said he didn't see anything that would force these guys to change the play. I just think the players were like, it's 4th and 11.
Yeah.
We don't want to give Josh Allen the football with a short field if this doesn't work out. So I just like that. I like that the players can control the situation, because every now and then people need to be humbled, especially Sean Payton. He's a great coach, good football mind. I'm sure to some people they love him, his personality. I don't think he's a bad guy overall. The way he comes off to me, it's just a bit much sometimes. So I wish I could have identified that situation and saw the look on his face when the players got to the line of scrimmage and said, "Nah, we're just going to punt this thing."
Who's in charge of that moment there?
It's usually the up back. So the guy who is in between the center and the snapper and the punter.
4th down. Who do you want to hear from again?
Fleury. Where's he been? I just want to talk to him again.
Does anyone have eyes on him?
Because the first time, we were one of the first people to talk to him. I think we were the first people to talk to him. And she said, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he seemed confident. I mean, he seemed like he was ready for the job. But there's something that happens with coaches and players over time. They just change. They stand a little taller. Maybe they speak louder. They're a bit more confident. So I just want to see and feel what Fleury's like, because we've done it with Coach McDonald. We were the first ones to interview McDonald.
And Kubiak.
Yeah, and from McDonald 3 years ago or 2.5 years ago to now, same dude, but it's just different.
I agree.
You see it, you feel it. So I want to see what the transformation is going to be like with Fleury. We see it with players, we see it with coaches. I want to see what the OC looks like. I mean, most importantly, I want to see what that offense looks like, too.
I noticed it most with Kubiak, in part because I think when we interviewed Kubiak, it's just kind of a behind the scenes. I think it was like an introductory press conference day. So he does the press conference, then he has to do some other stuff, then he comes to talk to us. So it's overwhelming. Mm-hmm. You don't have you haven't even met all your players yet. No. So I know that he was kind of limited in like, hey, I need to have a bunch of meetings with my head coach. Like, I don't even know. So I think that was part of it. But he seemed so quiet and so reserved and almost like shy.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking like, oh, what's this going to be like?
Yeah.
Because we had a separate interview with, was it Mike Haas? Curtis out in New Orleans. And
he said, great name.
A great name. And he said, yeah, Clint Kubiak, really, really smart guy. Kind of a guy you forget is there, though. And I thought, that doesn't sound like an endorsement. That doesn't sound good. And Mike actually really liked him. He loved what the offense looked like for the first couple games. And he said, Kubiak couldn't control that your center got hurt. Like, didn't really blame him for it falling apart. But it sounded like an accidental critique. So then we have that interview, and I'm like, oh, no. And then you and I sat down with him again in training camp. And knowing all of this, I'm like, thinking I have to have these extra questions. Like I need to be ready with just kind of how was your summer and like kind of, and it was like a different person.
Yeah, it was.
And that was before the season started.
Yeah. So he's acclimated now. He's comfortable. I'm sure he has a spot for his wife and kids. Probably has a routine. His favorite restaurants now. It's just once you settle in, you change a little bit. So I want to hear from my man.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up, get ready to feel some secondhand embarrassment from an awkward exchange at Big 12 Media Days.
She's an icon.
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Friday, July 10th through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Friday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Culture is a belief. When we have a new hire orientation, it's pretty impactful because there's a lot of people that don't realize that a car dealer has been in business for 93 years and has, built ball fields. And so then they start asking more questions. And then you go back to the store and you see relationships and friendships and you see legacy employees that have been here for 30 years. And then it's like, why is it different? I can't put my finger on it. What is this? Well, that's culture. You feel it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, this feels really, really good. And before you know it, now that individual is the one fostering that environment of culture. So then when the next person comes through the door, all of a sudden it's like you can identify it and you say, this person can feel it. And then all of a sudden, what have we just done? We've built culture.
Lee Johnson, our family, the LJ way.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
Dave Wyman joined by another Swedish Cyberknife patient to offer a glowing endorsement of their prostate cancer treatment. Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host, underwent Swedish Cyberknife treatment for prostate cancer. How did you hear about Swedish Cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the Cyberknife treatment?
You do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital. They say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish Cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it and I just went, that's it.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Swedish.org/Cyberknife Prostate.
Cyberknife is a registered trademark of Accuray Incorporated and is used with permission.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of her video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
Hi, Chef John Howie here. For 24 years, my team and I at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar have called Bellevue home. We serve fresh, locally sourced seafood, farm fresh produce and poultry, and great steaks. At Sea Star, we like to say there's something for everyone, from the carnivore to the pescatarian to the vegetarian. Come see for yourself at Sea Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue. SeaStarRestaurant.com, SeaStarRestaurant.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
It is The Timeline on Bump and Stacy. Taking a look around the world of sports. How about a super awkward exchange? This one is at the Big 12 Media Day. We think a Texas Tech reporter is trying to ask about Brennan Sorsby, but they just kind of left everyone confused.
Sean Dillon, Rocket Brigade. Commission, Texas Tech got fined over tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU paddles broke an always maker rule, has a tradition exemption. Sorsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders. Big 12 sued them anyway, while Cincinnati hasn't been yet touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe it?
Can you sit? Let me come closer to you. Stand up. Ask that question again, and I'm going to give you the answer I want to give you. So go ahead.
Texas Tech got fined for tortillas, and tortillas were banned outright. OSU has had paddles that were given a noisemaker exemption back in 2012. Sorsby never played a snap for the Red Raiders, and yet there's a lawsuit. Cincinnati has yet to be touched. You're selling greater than 12. Why should Texas Tech fans believe them?
No, I didn't say greater than 12. You misquoted me. I said we're going forward as 16 strong, and that's my answer to your question. But thank you for that question.
Okay. At first, I thought that he was, like, I almost felt bad laughing because I thought, is he trying to work through asking a question, and this is like a strategy he's using to get words out? You know what I mean? I think what he's saying is the Big 12 is being hypocritical and punishing certain schools or allowing certain things from certain schools, the tortillas, the paddles, whatever. And not only that, but in not doing anything about Cincinnati when Brennan Sorsby was there. But why is he asking, like, what should the Big 12 commissioner have done? I mean, because Sorsby was facing a ton of pressure from the NCAA. I don't know how he was
for. I don't know where the connection was with all the examples that he brought up.
I get what the examples reference, right?
He's saying, I think, like, why are you punishing Texas Tech more than these other schools?
Right. Or, like, why?
Because I think there was the controversy a few years ago that Texas Tech had, like, because they used to throw tortillas in the stands and their fans were throwing them at players. And so the Big 12 was like, you can't do that anymore.
Right. And then he's saying, but you're cool with other schools. But it's the weirdest possible way to ask the question. And I don't know what Brett is supposed to say here.
Right.
Because it wasn't just like a Big 12 decision, per se. It was a much bigger issue the NCAA had.
It's a false equivalence, I think is what it is.
Yes.
Exactly. He's trying too hard. That's what he's doing.
Trying way too hard.
Yeah,
he's looking for a gotcha. And I love, look, my favorite part of this cut is, let me move a little bit closer.
Yeah. Like, hold on.
Hold on. Let me just take a couple steps. Let me just hand me a mic. Let me follow this guy. So one more time. And he's like, sure. So tortillas. What is it? So
the still shot of the video of this guy asking his question is hilarious because he's got the mic in his hand.
Yeah.
And the second time he asks it, there are two other beat reporters behind him. I don't know who they are, but they have their head in their hands, just like, end this.
I want to see this.
Like, so I'll send you the video. I can't play it, but I'll send it to you. It's from, let's see, what's his outlet? Rockin' Pregame. So.
Okay. That must be one heck of a pregame show.
I want to know what their coverage was after this. Like, did they play this like, we got him? He didn't know what to say here. Couldn't handle the fire. Yeah, very weird exchange. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. Let's go on to another funny exchange. This one intentional, though it's going over some people's heads. Pirates first baseman Ryan O'Hearn had a career night yesterday, hitting 3 home runs, driving in 10. Yeah. Paul Skeens jokingly, and I really want to emphasize that, said O'Hearn was being selfish with all that production.
I mean, I think it was kind of selfish, to be honest. Everybody else was getting on, and, home runs are rally killers. You hit a 3-run home run or a grand slam, and it's just like, what now? There's nobody on, nobody can drive him in. So, good for him, I guess.
Perfect deadpan delivery.
Yeah.
Home runs are rally killers.
I loved it.
So you drive everyone in. What now?
When I heard this, I was just listening to it, and I had to turn and look at him. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, my
He's
God.
trying not to smile.
Yeah,
the whole time.
he was holding it back. No, that's a good teammate right there. That's how you get back at your boys.
It's so good that there are, I want to say, dozens and dozens of people responding to any outlet that posts this video going, oh my God, how dare he, what a horrible teammate. It's so deadpan and executed perfectly. And as someone who can't tell a joke without laughing at my own joke, I'm envious of this. In fact, we talked about this in the Sports Pit. I'm envious of everything about Paul Skeens. Like, talk about being, what's it like to be God's favorite? Like, you're
used to be a fighter pilot.
A fighter pilot who can throw a ball 100 miles an hour and is dating another gorgeous model athlete who also is really cool. Like, what?
Life is good, man.
The only thing you don't have is a World Series.
And he'll never get it with the Pirates. So let's make some moves.
Pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Him and Josh Allen.
Poor Josh
Also
Allen.
dating someone very famous as well.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Look at these
and very
guys.
beautiful.
I don't
and
feel
talented.
bad for them at all.
Yeah. We know of at least one celebrity who declined an invite to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift's wedding, none other than Charles Barkley, who explained his decision on Philly's 97.5 The Fanatic.
So you didn't get the invite to the royal wedding at Madison Square Garden then?
I did.
Oh, you did get the invite. You didn't go?
I don't go to weddings. That's one of I don't go to weddings or funerals, but I did get an invite, and I politely declined because I thought it was going to be a show, and I love Travis and Jason, and I've only met Taylor one time, but yeah, I did get an invite, but I said, hey, you know what? That's just too much. I just want to hang out and play golf, and I don't want to dress up and all that other stuff. But I appreciate the invitation. It was pretty special.
I think Charles Barkley is on my Mount Rushmore of favorite celebrities. Like, I would hear him talk about anything.
Charles doesn't do anything he doesn't want to do, and I can appreciate that.
I respect
I've
it.
only been to a couple weddings, not many, and weddings are overrated.
What's the worst wedding you've been to?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, well, what made it so bad?
I went to Sarah's wedding.
So what? I'll rephrase. What was so bad about the worst wedding you went to?
Didn't have an open bar.
Okay.
And it was hot as heck. It was like
also negative.
Outside. It was just too dang hot, and
Yeah.
everyone's all dressed up, and I sweat. So your boy was sweating. Yeah, and then it was just uncomfortable. Yeah, and weddings are overrated. They're overrated. I feel like if you're gonna do a wedding, you do you. If you're rich, Madison Square Garden, I get it. But I feel like the more intimate, the better.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 people.
That's a lot.
1,000 people.
1,000 people is you're at a concert. You're at a concert. I think a bad DJ can also ruin a wedding.
Yeah.
A bad DJ, and if you don't coordinate the food the right way, you know what I mean?
What do you mean coordinate? Like the timing of it?
The timing of
Yeah.
it, that there's enough food. Like, it's the worst when you're at a table that gets up there near the end and you're like, dang, everything's gone.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but you're getting a knock from me on that wedding.
I couldn't make the wedding, but didn't one of our homies who got married have Chipotle at their wedding?
You're thinking of BG, who had Panda Express.
Panda Express, which is an amazing wedding.
And
Awesome.
they just had a baby, and they're a beautiful couple. But they had Panda Express at their wedding, and it was the best.
I was mad because I missed the panda.
Yeah. Oh, you did? Did you? You weren't there in time.
I didn't. No, I just
That is
didn't. I just
devastating.
couldn't make it.
He wasn't able to make it.
Couldn't make it.
Yeah, it was.
And like soccer tournaments.
I had a lot of plates.
At Brandon's wedding, we maybe caught wind that they were going to have Panda Express because both of them referenced it in their vows.
And
we're like, I wonder if Panda Express is what we're having for dinner. And then you, Stacy, went out into the hallway.
And I saw
and
it.
you were like, guys.
And I
there's
sent
boxes of Panda Express in the hallway.
I was looking for the bathroom and I went the wrong way. So I was like walking back by like where the kitchen's and storage. Just, I don't know. I was just wandering.
Did you dance at the wedding?
A
few of us did.
No, we didn't stay. I ended up leaving before the bigger part of the reception.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But
I wanna
great
see
wedding.
that. I would love to see you on the dance floor.
That feels like a threat and an insult. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners try to bounce back against the Marlins. Pregame starts at 2:30 p.m. George Kirby on the mound for a first pitch starting at 3:40 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Getting back to the Mariners at noon with Ryan Divish.
Seattle, you sure know how to do it big.
One of the greatest things about the World Cup, Seattle is being showcased to the world.
Tom Rinaldi. Anyone with or around the team, if they could pick any place, it would be Seattle.
Seattle was made for this.
I wonder if old Roger in Park Avenue does look at this and wonder, wonder if we can find a way to get a Super Bowl there.
Are you kidding me? The home of the city's biggest sports moments, Seattle Sports.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Olympic Hot Tub's All-American Soak, Swim, and Sauna event is here. Now's the time to save thousands on a saltwater hot tub, swim spa, or sauna. With up to 3 years to pay for it, interest-free. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Emerald Queen Casino Event Center presents the main event, powered by WFC, Saturday night, August 8th. A night of professional boxing, where champions are made and every punch counts. Contenders from the region go toe-to-toe, ready to prove they belong at the top. Tickets at EmeraldQueen.com. Don't miss Fight Night, August 8th at Emerald Queen Casino. Always entertaining. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. Hey, Bob, you had a hip issue just like me. You went to see Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports Regenerative Medicine. What did he tell you?
You got a torn labrum, you got a frayed ligament, you've got arthritis developing. He said, this isn't going to fix everything, but it will go a long way. I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff beyond jiu-jitsu.
So, just like me, Dr. Wagner does stem cell on your hip. How you feeling now?
I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now.
So whether it's a shoulder, a hip, a wrist, knee, or elbow, before you choose surgery, see our friend, Dr. Wagner first. He'll tell you if stem cell is right for you. drmarkwagnermd.com. Make an appointment at drmarkwagnermd.com.
Jane Dawson did something smart. She saved hundreds on auto insurance switching to Progressive. With the money she saved, she got herself a pricey bird feeder with an ultra-high-def camera. Should Jane have just bought a regular bird feeder? Yes. Is it hard for her to admire nature when the camera doubles as the bird's potty? Also, yes. But it's Jane's savings, and if she wants to spend her time watching the digestive habits of the white-breasted nuthatch, we say you go, girl. Switch and see if you could save with Progressive and treat yourself. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Alani in the backfield now. Play fake to him. Sam stops, looks, throws, got a man wide open. Touchdown, Seahawks! It is A.J. Barner. He could not wait to get out of that hotel. Talked to him yesterday. He said, I got to go hit somebody. AJ, how about catching a touchdown too? He does from 16 out. His 4th. AJ Barner on a perfect pass. Darnold, we have seen him throw that before. Everybody comes to the left side. Barner leaks out into the right side. 4 catches, 54 yards now, and a touchdown.
Everybody loves A.J. Barner here in Seattle, but what if people around the country start talking about him a little bit more this year? Friend of the show, ESPN's Ben Solak picked his breakout candidate for every single NFL team, and for Seattle, he went with tight end A.J. Barner. Bump, I want to ask you about how he can break out this year, how you'd like to see him used differently. Because this is just a short excerpt, I'm just going to read what Ben said. He said, "We somehow made it through the entire Seahawks Super Bowl run without calling Barner what he is, a rising top 10 tight end." Credit you, you've said this before. "There are precious few complete tight ends right now, players who legitimately move the needle both as blockers and as receivers, and Barner can be both. He'll never be a high-volume fantasy darling, but he makes big-time catches away from his frame and has plenty of juice to get vertical. As a blocker, he's a featured cog in Seattle's rushing attack," and I love this line, "Barner really is discount George Kittle." An easy comparison now that Kittle's old tight ends coach, Brian Fleury, is Barner's offensive coordinator. If Fleury runs the passing game a little more through Barner this season, he'll start to get his name mentioned in the upper tier of tight ends, where it belongs. High praise.
He took that article from me. He heard me talking about him and wrote that article.
That's what it was.
That's what it was.
See, I know Ben's a fan of the show because he's just a friend of the show.
Yep.
We're a fan of Ben, and I think that's what happened is he heard you
Ben,
talking at the Super Bowl.
Right?
He's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
He's the nicest guy.
No, he looks like he's like 15 too. He's a youngster. He's absolutely right though. I think if you watch AJ Barner play, his movements in the route running for a tight end is elite or close to it. He's a willing blocker. He takes that very seriously. All tight ends should. His hands he has a great radius. You look at the touchdown in the Super Bowl. Go get that thing. The touchdown Thursday Night Football, I think he had one too. Go get that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and not to mention his celebration is one of the best in the game.
It's true. The barn stomp.
The barn stomp. But no, seriously, he is he's what the modern tight end has to be. I think about the old school tight ends. And one of the greatest of all time. You look at this Tony Gonzalez, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people call him the greatest tight end of all time. or Gronk, who's up there as well. They just move different. They move like tight ends. They're big, strong. AJ don't move like that. He moves like a hybrid. He moves like a mix between a tight end and a receiver. It's fluid. Like he has a movement in the hips. It just looks different. But you got to be willing to do the dirty work, and he's able to do that or willing to do that. I've been a fan of his. As soon as they drafted him, I saw his college film at Michigan, and I felt that he could be something special. Because when's the last time we had a really good tight end on this team?
Now, Curtis and I will stand on business.
I'm glad you asked.
I already know where y'all going.
I'm glad
Set
you
you up.
asked.
Go ahead, brother. Why don't you take this one?
Number 88, Jimmy Graham.
That's exactly right. Who still
Best
holds
tight end in franchise history.
best tight end in franchise history. Most yards in franchise history, single season.
All right,
And it's like
minus
not
him.
even close either.
Yeah.
Minus
However,
him, who's the best? Other than Jimmy. Like,
people
when's the
love
last
Zach
time?
Miller, but I think that there
Yeah.
are some other names that you could throw
John
in
Carlson
there.
had some good years.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a pretty. Here's the thing: that Jimmy Graham holds that record and was here for 3 seasons kind of speaks to Seattle in franchise history underutilizing the position. Not that there haven't been
Right.
intriguing names, but underutilizing the position.
It was the only position on the 50th anniversary team that was not represented. At every other
Yeah.
position,
Yes, good
and
point.
there were no tight ends on the Seahawks 50th
That-
anniversary
As Jimmy
team.
Graham, ardent Jimmy Graham defenders, we will always say that. But I think both of us, Curtis, I'm speaking for you, but I think we can both agree that we'd love to see AJ Barner take over that mantle.
I think he can. I think A.J. Barner will shatter everything Jimmy Graham has done. I mean, he already has, 6 touchdowns this year. I think he had, 4 last year. He's at 10. Jimmy had 18. Jimmy had 2,048 yards. I think back-to-back season, I think A.J. had 600 plus this year, 500 last year. He's on his way. He's going to be the best tight end statistically to ever play for the Seahawks.
So what makes him that? Like with Jimmy Graham, you're like, I guess it's like if someone with LeBron's body became a football tight end, right? You're like 6'8", 265, whatever he was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get it. You're a freak athlete. You don't need to block when you can win every matchup. But like AJ Barner,
That's the difference.
slightly different build. So like, what makes AJ Barner a candidate for you to
Honestly,
become that player?
I know Jimmy was a tight end, but I didn't even look at him as a tight end because of the way he was used in New Orleans. And obviously here they tried to use him as a tight end here, but
Which
didn't
I
work out for
digress.
him. Yeah.
I'll complain about that all day.
But it's just all the things I described is that he can do everything. He can block. He can run routes. He's a matchup nightmare. We're going to put a safety on him, okay? You're going to put a nickel on him, good luck. He just does it all, man. And he plays with an intensity that I think that position requires. As a receiver, I mean, you can be pretty out there and not have to be all crazy and intense. The closer you get to the football, the more screws you got to have loose to play that position because there's chaos in that box.
See, that's why I believe when he wore a women's fur coat and a cowboy hat, I said, that man can ball.
Yeah, he embraces it. So I think that when it's all said and done, he will be the best tight end to ever play for the Seahawks.
Joe in Bellevue. Graham wasn't a tight end. He was a receiver and even argued that he was such. Yes, to avoid being paid the tight end salary on a franchise tag with the Saints. But I stand behind that. I know Curtis does, that like Jimmy Graham's put up the most production from a tight end. It's not something I love. That's no issue with Jimmy Graham, but like you've had so many really intriguing tight ends with this organization and you just haven't been able to use them in the way that some, you know what, Bump, this is my follow-up question. Why have some teams been able to get so much out of that position while other organizations haven't? Is it just that that player can be rare? How? Why?
I mean, it's the offense. It's the way the offense is designed, right? And I think today's game, the way it's being called now, right, by the Rams, you throw Vegas in there, Arizona. I think there's a transition going to where the position is changing, like the attributes of the tight end is changing, which allows you to open up that offense a bit more. Just like we talked about receivers the other day, how now you can get a receiver that's 5'9" all the way up to like 6'3". I think, and how quarterbacks now, you're not going to get a guy who just stays in the pocket. Like there's no statues anymore. I think the most statued quarterback we got right now is probably Jared Goff. No disrespect, Jared. I did it once. I won't do it again.
But I love
You
it as
are
a bit that we
baller.
keep disrespecting Jared Goff.
But it's Jared Goff. There are no other statue-type quarterbacks. That's the position is changing. Right? Evolution is real. If you
Yeah.
ever want to look at evolution and figure out if you believe it or not, just watch football over the years and see how the positions have changed and the bodies have changed.
Yeah. Okay. Still to come in the second half of the show. We will get back to the NFL, take a look around at some of the top headlines, including a star player who regrets not signing with the Seahawks. That's coming up at 12:30. Coming up next, looking back at that first game loss to the Marlins and what we want to see from the Mariners with Seattle Times' Ryan Divish. Next.
Congratulations, Randy Arozarena, 2026 All-Star.
It is grand salami time! Randy Arozarena clears the bases.
It's kind of helped them hang in there throughout this year.
He likes being on the big stage.
It is gone! Randy Arozarena strikes again. Welcome to Randyland.
From the home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Klein Jewelers is all about celebrating big anniversaries. What's a big anniversary? Year 1, year 5, year 25. If you forgot about it, you'll find out just how big it is. No matter the year, Klein Jewelers is here to help you celebrate with something beautiful. Maybe it's a 3-stone ring that honors your past, present, and future. Maybe it's a new band to stack or the diamond upgrade you've been dreaming about. And while we love anniversaries, we're here for all life's special moments too. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds. Your jeweler for life.
Now is your time to get into a new D.R. Horton home by taking advantage of its National Red Tag Sales event this Friday, July 10th through Sunday, August 2nd. Stop by any of its participating communities and find select Red Tag homes at incredible pricing. So whether you're buying your first home or looking for an upgrade, you don't want to miss the Red Tag Sales event starting this Friday. Discover the D.R. Horton difference. Visit drhorton.com. D.R. Horton, America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Ask your Bryant dealer to maintain your current system or install an energy-efficient Evolution system. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at bryantnorthwest.com. Whatever it takes.
Pests and poor installation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated installation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit eastsideexterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoy the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
When your equipment is down, every minute counts. Levitt Machinery has the parts, technicians, and expertise to get you back up and running fast. Because if it's forked, we fix it. LevittMachinery.com. Need a lift? Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Oak Cliff Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Everyone always asks me, what were your top reasons for choosing Advanced Hair? Well, allow me to share, along with some details on, get this, their once-a-year summer savings event. Okay, first off, Advanced Hair stands by the results, and I'm living proof those results are second to none. With Advanced Hair, your own natural hair is guaranteed to grow. Secondly, Advanced Hair combines top-rated physicians with modern technology, creating a concierge quality experience that blew away my expectations. And lastly, Advanced Hair's Advanced FUE begins regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. It is quick, simple, and easy. Now, if you have a flexible schedule this summer and you've been waiting for that special savings opportunity, well, it's here. Advanced Hair's Summer Savings Event will get you the most hair for your dollar. It's their best offer ever. For details to schedule your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. Your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Before and after pictures at advancedhair.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series opener to the Marlins yesterday in the 10th inning when Weston Wilson was thrown out on a base running mistake to limit scoring opportunities, and Michael Rucker gave up an RBI single to Jacob Mercy for the Marlins walk-off win. George Kirby gets the start today as Seattle looks to strike back. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. Pre-game show starts at 2:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Seattle Times Ryan Divish joining us now. And Brian, a tough one for Brian Wu yesterday. I know that you've interviewed him, and I don't know that Brian Wu has an answer, really. So instead, I'll just ask kind of what you think might be going on sometimes when a guy has such drastic home and road splits.
Yeah, it's funny. He said, I have no answers. He goes, maybe the answers are there are no answers, which is very existential. And, I'm maybe he's been reading philosophy books. He's pretty smart. There is a confidence factor involved in all of this. You don't get hurt at T-Mobile Park maybe as much as you would at other places when you miss a pitch. And the one thing is like when you are not, you don't want to be too fine. You don't want to fall behind. And then that forces you back into the strike zone because these guys don't want to walk anybody. I think that's part of the problem. But, his home road splits last year, he was like the most split-resistant guy last year in terms of home road splits. He was basically even. He was good in both places. I don't know. I think it's a funk. Sometimes you just get sort of this weird mental block, and you almost speak it into existence or think it into existence, and the idea that, like, oh, yeah, these bad things happen when I'm on the road. So, like yesterday, he throws a low and inside fastball to Owen Casey. It's a pretty good pitch, but Casey drops the bat head, hits a homer. Jacob Marcy gets the single through the right side where he throws a pitch below the zone, or tries to throw a slider below the zone. It didn't quite get to exactly where he wants. Marcy hits it through the right side. He hasn't been a great hitter all year, and so all of a sudden one of the weakest hitters beats you. Pulls a fastball because he's trying so hard to get it to the right thing for a wild pitch. So it's like all these little things that happen where maybe you aren't pitching as poorly as, other outings, but weird things happen, and it's because you're on the road, and it's almost that mindset. But I think he'll be fine, honestly. It's like talent matters, and overall execution matters. And I think like his execution hasn't been as poor, at least in this last outing, compared to others. So I think he's at least on the right road. But there's definitely a sense of frustration because, here's a guy that was an All-Star last year and really thought had taken a step forward to being one of the upper echelon pitchers in Major League Baseball. And this year, he's an upper echelon pitcher when he's at home, and on the road, he's very league average. And that's a tough way to live for somebody who's had success and expects success.
Ryan, I get the the usage of the bullpen at times, right? You're looking at matchups, righties and lefties and all that, the setup guy, closer. But do you feel like maybe they do a little bit too much, or is this just typical Dan Wilson baseball as far as the use of the bullpen?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of similar to all bullpen usage. I just think, like, they don't match up necessarily as much as, Dan Wilson doesn't play the matchup game necessarily as much as his predecessor, Scott Service. I mean, Scott Service would use his closer in the 7th or 8th inning if he felt like that was the matchup or if that was the leverage point. I know there's been a few people like saying, oh, this is analytics and put down the iPad and sabermetrics. No, Dan Wilson goes in the opposite of what what modern sabermetrics or analytics do, in the sense that Andres Munoz pitches the 9th inning. They don't use him before that, and like the idea that he rarely ever uses his guys for more than 3 outs. It's always 1 inning at a time. Modern analytics say, look, if there's one more out that needs to happen, the up down doesn't matter as much as some people think. So you need to go out and get that out. And meanwhile, while Dan is resistant to that, I mean, like last night, Munoz threw 9 or 10 pitches in his outing. They didn't bring him back, and it wasn't under consideration. I think honestly because they thought they would score in the 10th. But that's the difference. I don't know that he matches up specifically. Obviously, like when there's lefties out there coming up, you're going to go to Spire, you're going to go to Ferrer, but that's pretty typical of anybody or any manager. So I don't know that it's like so diehard in the matchups. But when you have your starter only go 5 innings and you're down a leverage guy, you have to kind of adjust. I mean, they have 4 leverage pitchers and they use them all, so somebody else is going to have to pitch. And right now, it's the guys after the leverage guys, Michael Rucker, Nick Dadala, I don't even remember who the other one is, that aren't, and Cole Wilcox, that maybe don't have that experience or have the success rate in leverage situations. They're going to have to kind of pitch out of their comfort zone at times.
I can defend individual decisions. Like, I wasn't shocked that Dom Canzone was lifted when he's been dealing with a hamstring strain and you put in Weston Wilson. And I'm not shocked that you go to Rucker. It's not like you can suddenly like you can't put back in the guys that you had before. But something about it felt, the game itself felt avoidable. And I think that that's where a lot of people, like I saw some people complaining, and it's like, okay, well, who would you rather have besides Rucker? So what were some of the avoidable things, or maybe the things that you'd be curious to see Dan or the Mariners experiment with to avoid getting into the 10th inning situation that they had?
Yeah, well, get a hit with bases loaded, nobody out.
That
in the
too.
6th. I mean, they loaded the bases with nobody outs in the 6th, and they had Dom, Cal, and Naylor coming to the plate, and they went ground out, strikeout, weak fly ball for an out. I mean, like, get a run there, you don't have to worry about, you get 1 run there, you may get more. I mean, like, that's the prime scoring opportunity. They had another situation, I think, runners first and second, they didn't get some runs in. They didn't do much against Max Meyer early. He's really good. They finally started to get some traffic, but they were over 7 with runners in scoring position before I think they finally broke through. So, that's a problem. Like, when you don't hit, and you have to hit on the road, when you don't produce with the opportunities given, you're allowing teams to kind of come back. I mean, like, a one-run lead on the road is not ideal. I mean, even with the Mariners bullpen, like, you're asking 4 relievers to be perfect over the last 4 innings. And, one of them wasn't. Case Fire struggled. If you give up the run, then all of a sudden it puts you in a bad spot. So I think that was a problem. You could argue, like, in terms of decision-making, like, taking Dom Canzone out in the 10th, because he's probably not going to bat again. You either need to win it there, or you need to take a lead there. You're probably going to lose it. You take Dom Canzone out to be not be the automatic runner. You could have went to Mastroboni, who I think might be a better base runner than Weston Wilson, but I think they were saving him for defensive purposes. But that's just a bad read by Weston Wilson. That's basic baseball. You don't go on that play. That put them behind. Like, you can get mad about all the other stuff, but if they score there, they score. If they get a run there, they don't mess it up. They manage to get 1. Michael Rucker has some room to work with, but when you're putting him out there, and all they have to do is push across 1 to win. Like, that's a tough position for him because he doesn't strike out a lot of guys. So all the stuff that happened in the fifth, sixth, and seventh led to the situation in the 10th. And that's the bigger issue. Like I looked at it last night when they didn't push Bizzardo or they didn't push Mooney. I was like, well, this is what it's going to be. So they better score a couple runs in the 10th and give their middle relievers some wiggle room to have to work out of a leverage situation, because otherwise they just, that's the way they are. And it's not like a lot of people blame the piggyback or the six-man rotation, but like they had a completely rested bullpen. He just went to his 4 leverage guys to get to the 9th or to try and win it in 9 innings, which you logically do. But when they didn't do that, then they were left with middle relievers in the 10th. And having an extra reliever when you don't have any more leverage guys in your organization right now, or guys that profile as a leverage guy in your organization, you're just putting out another guy like Michael Rucker to try and have success. Whether or not, that's their 8th guy. If they had 8-man bullpen, it would be similar to what you have with Michael Rucker. Maybe it's Troy Taylor. Maybe it's one of these other guys in Tacoma, none of whom have had any experience pitching in leverage. So this is kind of the hand they're dealt. And so either they do a better job of making sure that they can win the game in 9 innings if you're going to empty all your leverage guys, or they're going to have to be a little more careful of when to deploy their leverage guys, knowing that, if you get to an extra innings point, your bullpen gets pretty thin after the first 4 guys.
Sounds stressful, Ryan. We got Kyle, man, putting together a few games. What are you seeing from him?
I thought it was better. I mean, you liked the at-bat last night where he got the double, the RBI double off the wall. I mean, that's 3 feet away from being a 3-run homer. And that could have really changed the game there, too. I mean, he was a 9-pitch at-bat, didn't give in. Obviously, he struck out the one time with bases loaded, but he had a double earlier in the game. You're seeing him get hits. I think the more Cal puts the ball in play hard, the power numbers will come because he is so strong. When he does barrel, he hits it hard, and usually it's in the air. So to me, it's like, and he says 2 stack at bats, stacking. Just continue to stack at bats where you're making contact, you're making quality contact, avoiding strikeouts at a rapid rate. And I think that's when good things happen. I mean, they need him right now because they don't have Julio. And so you're missing another contributor, and they don't. The slug really hasn't been there unless it's been Dom or Luke. So you need somebody else right now, and Cal is the leading candidate.
He seems very aware of the fact that he's struggled. I mean, I was reading your post-game column, and you've had quite a few where you've had quotes from Cal that are either in a press conference or, you're able to ask him a few questions. What did he say after this one? And for that matter, what did players say about where they kind of fell short?
I mean, like he said, they didn't get hits with runners in scoring position and early on, and that the one run in that 6th could have, at least one run in the 6th could have made a huge difference. And, he planned to blame squarely at himself, so they can't strike out there. He is, Cal is logical and pragmatic, I mean, I think he's optimistic that he's going to figure this out, but he's not going to sugarcoat it if he plays poorly or if he doesn't come through. He's the first one to criticize. And when the team struggles, he usually points to himself first before saying, we got to get better, but myself, I got to get better. I think he understands that responsibility. But I do think there is some frustration too, because the team isn't playing very well. It's been inconsistent at times, and a lot of that inconsistency can be due to the fact that he's just not producing the way he wants to, or the way he's expected to, or the way they need him to. Logically, I mean, it was funny, when there was so much consternation about Rob Refsnyder and on some of these other pieces and why, so-and-so is on the roster. I'm looking at it going, these guys play every 3rd day, or maybe get 1 plate appearance per game. You need your main guys to do stuff. I mean, up until the point where he got hurt, Julio hadn't done a lot in the month of June, and so it was you need Julio and Cal to kind of get it going if you want to get to where you want. I mean, the fact that they're still have a winning record and have, they're top of the division and whatever, the division is bad, they haven't totally cratered with these guys not producing. If I had told you at the beginning of the season, hey, look, your best hitter is going to be Dom Canzone and Cal and Julio are going to be right. Cal's going to really struggle and Julio's going to be slow. I mean, you wouldn't have thought they'd be where they're at right now.
Yeah, if you would have told me Cal had single-digit home runs and missed a month, I'd be like, well, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I mean, baseball can be very complicated in a lot of ways, but it's also very simple in the fact that your best players need to produce. I mean, you look around the league, you look at the Toronto Blue Jays, yes, they've had a lot of injuries, but Vlad Guerrero has really struggled. Consequently, the Blue Jays have struggled. You know, like when these teams that don't have these kind of guys that their entire lineup is kind of built around them and they don't produce, then, you know, things get awry really quick. And that's kind of what happened to the Mariners.
We got George Kirby and Tyler Phillips on the mound today. What should we know about Phillips?
I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, like the Marlins are a mystery to me. I look at them and, you know, I read a couple stories about how good they've been. And coming into it, you're like, I can name like 7 guys on that roster. You know, but then you watch them and you're like, okay, like, yeah, this plays a little bit. Like these guys, I mean, they don't strike out a ton. They hit the ball hard, everything like that. Like the Marlins starters, the one thing they do, they will spin the baseball. I mean, you saw it with Max Meyer. But like for a lot of years, the past few years, because they are very analytically driven, they throw more spin than anybody else. You know, and so I think that'll be an interesting thing to see. I mean, like, honestly, the Mariners are better than they've been, and I don't know if the Marlins are as good as they've been, and were they 25-8 since June 1st. But they're playing well now, so it's a really good matchup. Like, that was a good game last night in terms of back and forth, players doing, you know, like, there was action, there was execution, there was good pitching at times, you know, like, the Marlins bring in their one of their best leverage guys in the 5th inning in that bases loaded situation. He's throwing 100 and he gets out of it. Like it's a very interesting thing. Like for all the people that kind of complain about the Mariners leaning too hard into analytics, the Marlins are one of the main analytic teams. I mean, they have their coaches calling pitches for the catcher instead of the catcher calling their pitches because they don't want the rookie catcher to have to deal with it. They feel like they have all the data and all the information to make the best decisions. So it's like, you know, if you want to complain about the Mariners leaning one way or the other, you can look at the Marlins, who have leaned really hard into this analytics aspect and are having success with maybe not the high level of talent that the Mariners are rolling out.
I wanted to wrap up, Ryan, by kind of leaning into that big picture, because you're right. I mean, if I wasn't a Mariners or Marlins fan watching this game, I'd feel like, wow, that was fun. Like, went into extras, close game, kind of, you know, some chaos ball. And I'm sure that Marlins fans were having the exact same frustrations that Mariners fans were in the 8th, complaining about what are we doing? Oh my God, our arms and what's not working here. And I think that anyone tends to zero in on their team and feel like their team is struggling more than any other team. But if you could help us take a big picture look to wrap up this conversation, it's not to just put lipstick on a pig or simply look at the silver lining. But Ryan, you're right in that it's been a weird year in the American League and that the Mariners are still in first place and staying afloat despite Cal and Julio underperforming. I mean, how important has that been? And should fans or, you know, people covering the team feel like this team can still make plenty of noise in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, the ebbs and flows of the schedule are pretty high. And, you know, it's like, I remember in years past writing the team off, you know, the obit of the season comes with like 50 games left. So I think, oh, they're done. Like, this is it. Like, what was it, 2022, where they lost 4-5 to the Angels on a homestand in a 5-game series. Maybe, yeah, I think it was 22 or maybe 21. Maybe it was 21. They lost 4-5 in a weird 5-game homestand. You're like, okay, these guys are done. And then they ripped off like 17 of 19 games. Or the one year going into the All-Star break, they won 14 straight after they looked terrible, you know, and everybody credited the Jesse Winker fight, which is stupid. You know, even last year. So like last year, and granted, I didn't do the whole season, but I watched every game. And, you know, I'm talking with Adam, Jude, and all those guys when they were filling in for me. So, like, I came back on August 3rd, and they went on a road trip where they were not good. I think it was Baltimore, New York, Philly. They stunk. Then they come home. Yeah. They beat up on the Rangers and the Rays. And then they went back out on the road, and they didn't play well in Cleveland. I think they lost 2 out of 3. Gave away a game there. Then they got swept in Tampa where George Kirby got lit up and hit. He hit that, I think it was Brandon Lau on purpose. And Naylor threw a ball away and was dealing with some shoulder stuff. And then they go to Atlanta, and Sale I think struck out 14 in 6 innings or something like that, or 50. You know, it was absurd. And it was like the lowest I've ever seen the clubhouse. Like, guys were frustrated. Jerry DePoto was on the trip, him and Justin, and they looked like, they kicked their dog repeatedly. Like, they were just down. And then the next day, the Saturday in Atlanta, Julio made a ridiculous catch, hit a home run. They beat the Braves, and the next day they scored like 22 runs. Then they came home, won a bunch of games at home, went to Houston, and swept the Astros in Houston, and they won the division, basically. Like, in that span, like the lowest of lows, and you thought they were going to give it away last year. They weren't going to make the postseason. They weren't going to win the division. And all of a sudden, something clicked. They had one good game, and they had another, and all of a sudden they got hot. Like the Mariners are perfectly capable of that. We just saw them go 5-1. Granted, they're against bad teams, but like they went 5-1. We've seen them after the one series in Sacramento get on little stretches of heaters. Like, we haven't seen that from them yet. But what they haven't done is turf themselves. They're not 7 back. They're not trying to overcome some deficit. They're just playing to a level that's kept them in it, and it allowed them to get there. I mean, like, when the Mariners started the postseason last year, did anybody think, oh, yeah, this is a team that's going to be one game away from the World Series? No. We knew they were pretty good, but there was severe questions about their pitching. Brian Wu was out. Like, you didn't know. So I think, to me, is like, just don't lose it now. And then eventually the laws of baseball and the laws of averages say you'll start to play better, and then maybe you'll have a chance. I think that's kind of what the Mariners are thinking, too. It's just like, we're not playing well. Yeah, we're not healthy. But we're also not putting ourselves in a massive hole that we have to climb ourselves out of. And that's what I think their thinking is.
Make sure you're following Ryan Divish's coverage at SeattleTimes.com and the Seattle Times app. He is Ryan Divish. Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
See you guys.
See ya. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, Egypt blew a 2-0 lead to Argentina yesterday late in the game in their 3-2 loss in stoppage time. What's the real headline?
More like Bargentina. Am I right?
That's right.
You're right.
That's right. You right, Craig?
Thank you. I'm actually, I thought Egypt would maybe get it done, and yet, shame on me, maybe?
No, you're up 2-0 with 19 minutes left in the game.
Right?
Minimum. No, I thought it was a wrap, too. As soon as I saw Messi score the equalizer, it was a wrap. You could feel the pressure just mounting for Egypt. They lost their composure. Coaches getting red cards, yellow card over here. FIFA ain't mad, though. And I just read an article during our break that Egypt coach came out and said that FIFA's pushing for Argentina to win. He felt that they got done dirty. So
do you think that?
Good for him speaking out. I think that great players get favorable calls. Their teams get favorable calls, too. And Messi's a go. So I think referees are going to allow them to play a little rougher and give them a few more fouls than the other team.
Although, can you really blame it when it's adding 3 goals? Like at the 79th minute, you were up 2-0.
Yeah, that wasn't all referees.
Right.
There were some suspect non-calls.
Yeah.
But 2 headers and a volley.
Yeah.
Most of that is you.
You can't have that Sean McVay Rams fan approach of like, it's not fair.
Right.
This is flukish. We're up 2-0. I don't know that this is going to be your answer, this match, but what's the greatest comeback? I don't mean like a series, like in a game. One of the greatest comebacks you can think of in a single game. Because Tom Brady tweeted out, that might beat 28-3.
I mean, that's the first one.
I would say a couple weeks ago, Knicks over the Spurs in Game 4.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Down, 29 in the second half?
What about you, Bump?
I mean, that's the most recent one.
Biggest in NBA Finals history.
I don't know. I can't think of one right now.
Yeah. Everyone's going to say against Green Bay, NFC Championship game, but I wanted to broaden our horizons a little bit and look at some other absolutely insane ones.
Didn't the Dodgers come back against the...
For the Freddie Freeman Grand Slam?
That one was crazy. Yeah, okay, thank you. I'll go with Freddie.
That was a movie moment.
Yeah, it was. And his ankles all jacked up. He looked like Gibson back in the 80s, rounding second base.
Can someone take me back to like this series landscape during that one? Because obviously it wasn't to win the World Series.
It was game 1.
Game 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
Headline Rewrites.
Headline number 2, in a statement released to social media this morning, longtime ace Justin Verlander announced he will retire after the 2026 season. What's the real headline?
He can't hurt you anymore, Mariners fans.
Or Dodger fans.
Or Dodgers fans. Yeah, he can't hurt you anymore. Bump is really how we should wrap up headline rewrites.
Yeah.
Bump, you're safe now.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Yeah, 43.
Yeah.
I thought he was like, in my mind, 40, 39.
I thought it was like 38 to 40. I didn't realize he's well into his 40s.
Crazy.
Veteran.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. And NFL star regrets not signing with the Seahawks. That's next.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader.
Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Brock Ewart here for my friends over there at People Come First Construction Group. You know I love my acronyms, PCF. They designed and built our outdoor living space for Molly and I, and we just loved it. And right now, PCF is making it easier than ever to get started on your new dream deck with 50% off your custom professional design and architectural drawing package. That means you can save over $9,000 on your project. And with 12 months of no interest, no payment financing, you can design your deck now and pay later. You know, most people who start with a design package end up with the exact outdoor space they've always wanted and dreamed of. This offer is your first step. Do what we did and contact PCF Construction Group today. Get your project ideas, browse amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space your favorite place. When people come first.
Every family has a story to tell. At Dunn Lumber, ours is about trust. During the Great Depression, trust was hard to come by. People were so skeptical of banks, customers would stop by the lumberyard, put their money in an envelope, and leave it in this safe. The safe still stands today as a symbol of our most valuable asset, your trust. If there's ever anything we can do to better earn your trust, email me personally. Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building trust since 1907.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Les Schwab Tires has always believed that taking care of people is the right thing to do.
Today, that means more than trusted service. It means delivering real value, too. That's why we're lowering prices on hundreds of tires without changing the service and expertise you've always counted on. Consumer Reports named Les Schwab the best tire retailer for 2026. We'll keep working every day to earn your trust. See leschwab.com for details.
It's summertime and the living is easy. If you're like me, you're spending nights on the patio listening to the game and enjoying what makes our area so beautiful. Dave Wyman here, and I have just the offer for you to get the most out of your outdoor living space. $500 off each window, $750 off patio and entry doors, and $200 off the final project. I've loved working with Harley Exteriors. They're a local company right here in Bothell, down-to-earth people who enjoy the same things we all do, rooting on our local teams and doing the best job we possibly can day in and day out. Use Harley Exteriors to complete your home space and receive 12 or 18-month promotional financing.
Qualified buyers only. Subject to credit approval and lender terms. Minimum purchase of 4 qualifying windows required. Windows must be 36 by 36 inches or larger. No size minimum on patio or entry doors. Financing subject to approved credit. Offers cannot be combined with other promotions. Offer expires July 31st, 2026.
Go to HarleyExteriors.com.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more. He's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More.
Fast internet speed. He's got the geeks to go big. Bring him the game
right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop. His quantum fiber's on top. Ready to use.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service, and speed in select locations only.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Taking a look around the NFL, we're going to start talking about Seattle, but it's not us. It's Von Miller. He previously said he wasn't disappointed in choosing to play for the Commanders over the Seahawks in 2025. He's now changing his tune, though. This was in an appearance on Steve Smith's 89 podcast.
I had, one contract offer from the Washington Commanders. Mm-hmm. That's why I went and played, and I had one offer from the Seattle Seahawks, and obviously I picked the wrong team on that one. It would have been three teams with 3 different teams with 3 Super Bowls, but that's just how it's supposed to be. For me, I just felt like I knew the Seattle Seahawks had a really good defense. Coach Frazier was over there, and I went in and took a visit there. I understood how good the Seattle Seahawks were with the Washington Commanders. I just felt like Jaden Daniels was poised for another great season.
I'll be honest, I thought so too. In Von's defense, I thought Jaden Daniels was going to have a really special second season.
Yeah, me too. We saw what he did that rookie season. And hindsight's 2020. I could understand why the Commanders looked a bit more attractive, right? Sam Darnold coming in, no DK Metcalf. Is Jason going to be the guy? What about this defense? He didn't know Nick Morwari was going to hit the scene like the way he did. I get it. And I'm glad he feels the way he feels.
I do too. And I think it's always interesting to look back at the ways that we are wrong about teams and why we're wrong about teams. And you can even think mid-season, like let's say the Mariners end up going on a run here and win 17 of 18 and go crazy. It's going to sound pretty dumb to, on July 8th, be like, oh, they're so horrible, they're out of it.
Yeah.
You really never know. And so it's always interesting to think, well, why did I think that? What was the context at the time? Context at the time, you're totally right, Bump, was you didn't know whether you could trust Sam Darnold. And there's some really interesting, who was it? Was it DeMarcus Lawrence texting someone being like, no, Sam Darnold is legit? I can't remember. Do you guys remember this?
No.
Curtis, do you remember? It was like screenshots that I want to say DeMarcus Lawrence had with someone, or maybe someone had with DeMarcus.
Des Bryant.
And
DeMarcus Lawrence.
Thank you. And DeMarcus Lawrence being like, no, for real. Like, Sam Darnold is legit. I'm paraphrasing, but like, and Des Bryant not believing, and then screenshotted them, Des, later, and being like, hey, shout out DeMarcus, because he was right about this. Why do you think there was such a massive gap between how guys felt in the building once they met Sam and saw Sam, and how guys felt out? Because those are receipts. Those are receipts from DeMarcus before he played this year.
Well, once you see it, you see him throw the football, you see him command the offense, you start to believe, and then you get to know him as a person. Everything that I've heard about Sam Darnold, like, we get a version of him, professional, cracks a joke every now and then, but from what I heard from people inside that building, he is like a dude's dude. He's kicking it with the D-line, the O-line, the DBs, and everyone's saying that it's genuine. So then you start to believe in him, right? I'll follow this guy. That's what quarterbacks have to do, is make everyone in that locker room be like, I will follow you into a house fire right now. And he did that. But it comes down to making plays. I bet they saw him dropping dimes out there.
I feel like Sam has that dog in him, but just in a different way.
He's got that Orange County dog in him.
You know what I mean? It's like a Labradoodle and like really expensive, but it's there. It's ready to bark.
It's not a Labradoodle.
It can bite.
Labradoodles don't bark. They don't bite.
They can if they want to.
Nah, you got to give them something
dogs.
else. Something else that looks really nice but can get you.
Like a German Shepherd.
Nah.
Maybe like a
hound.
Like a hound of some sort.
And what about that dog? Remember that movie Beethoven back in the day?
A Saint Bernard.
There you go. One of those.
That's that dog he's got in him. Totally agree.
I'm glad
and
we
it's like
figured
out
that
there
out.
saving lives too, with like the little wheelbarrow around its neck.
Where's that from? Avalanches and stuff?
Avalanches and stuff.
There you go.
Matt, I feel like you can help us out here. The little Beethoven dogs that have the wheelbarrows around their neck.
Saint Bernard.
St. Bernards.
Yeah,
You already got it right.
Yeah.
You said wheelbarrows?
Well, it's not a wheelbarrow. It's a case. It's like what they make alcohol in.
It used to look like a mini casket of brandy.
Yeah.
That they would like carry to people that were trapped in
Yeah,
avalanches
and it had like
for some
Band-Aids
reason.
and stuff. Or
I don't think
whatever.
it had
No, it was
Band-Aids.
brandy.
Well, I think it was like a first aid kit.
It was brandy.
No,
'cause
it
you gotta
was
keep
it was
people warm.
brandy.
Well, what was
That's
the
why
plus
it
sign
was a
on it?
cask. Because like it was supposed to be medicinal. Alcohol warms you up. People in the 1920s didn't know what they were doing when it came to medicine. They just thought it was
interesting.
helpful.
Maybe we need to go back to that.
I would.
Next up, Tom Brady was on the newest episode of New Heights with the Kelsey brothers and was asked who was more important to the Patriots dynasty, himself or Bill Belichick?
There's nobody more important to winning Monday through Saturday than the head coach. Yeah. And there's nobody more important on Sunday than the quarterback. Now, everybody's important. The person who washes the clothes is important. The quarterback just has an outsized kind of ability to help the team win because he touches the ball so much.
Yes.
But I need everybody to do their job. But if you have bad quarterback play, it doesn't matter what else you do, you're not going to win.
Yeah.
And if you have bad coaching, it doesn't matter how well the players are doing, you're going to lose. So I just think that question is like, they're all important. There's no way I could have been the player I was without him. And I think we pushed each other to get the best out of each other. And I think he's incredible. Anyone who played underneath him would say the same
Do you
thing.
think he really believes that?
For sure. And
Me
I think
too.
he's absolutely right. The head coach is the organizer. He is the checks and balances. He makes sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do. He sets the tone. He is absolutely right. And then on Sundays, you need your quarterback to ball out.
Yep.
Unless you're dealing with the 2000 Ravens, you need your quarterback to ball out and make great decisions. I like Tom Brady more and more every day.
Me too. I've liked him more post-retirement. Once they got him out of the league, I was like, great. So sick of this guy beating up on my team. But I know that you could see this and go, oh, well, he's just saying that because it's public and it's a popular podcast and it's going to get out there. But like, this is to me the nuanced take that a football player is going to have. That like on the outside as hot take artists, we can go, oh, well, Brady won without Bill. And so therefore it's Brady. And actual football players will go, you have no idea the damage a bad coach can have.
No idea. And this is, and Brady and him left on bad terms too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
Bad blood.
he still has that much respect for him.
And also constantly overlooked is that question feels easier to answer in the early parts of Brady's career. When yes, Brady was a very special player, but like those defenses were phenomenal, and that's Bill Belichick.
Yeah, but you need your quarterback to make some throws.
I mean, it's what Brady said ultimately, that like you can't really point to one thing because we know exactly what it looks like when one half of the equation's bad. You don't succeed. Next up here, we're still a couple years away from the 2028 Olympics, but we got to this in Fort Down territory, getting back to it here. Josh Allen sounds like a guy who would jump at the chance to play flag football for Team USA.
I would sign up tomorrow to be on the team. I don't know if they'd want me, but that would be something. Like I said, I've always dreamed of competing for my country and being able to wear my own gold medal. But we'll see how it works. I don't know the ins and outs really of flag football, and I watched that deal maybe a couple months ago, and it was a much different game than I thought it would be. But I do think that there is a potential space. I would love to do it. I'm from California. It's in LA. You know, I live here now, so who
Bump,
knows?
am I naive to think the U.S. would crush at this? No competition.
No, there will be competition.
Okay.
Flag football is a totally different beast. You don't have O-lineman protect. You don't have to establish the run. There's no real physicality in that game. It is the equalizer. It's like a handicap. You know, in golf, there's a handicap, right? Say if a guy's a better golfer than me and he's a 1 and I'm a 10, he's got to give me 9. Flag football is the handicap because there's a lot of me's, 5'11s, fast as heck walking around that can catch the football but just couldn't do it physically in the league. You know what I'm saying? U.S. might go down in the Olympics. They're going to win some games.
Why are you bringing this energy?
They might go down because it's real. I've taken 15 average-sized white dudes to the South and beat up on these 5-star goons out there. It's the equalizer. You get hot.
Never know what could happen.
Nah.
And you know there aren't a lot of views, Bump. Not with your personality.
Yeah, that's very sweet. Thank you.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Coming up next, one NFL analyst has the Seahawks finishing 7-10 in 2026. What's he seeing that I'm not? That's next.
A rough start to the final road trip of the first half.
The Marlins have walked off the Mariners 6-5.
Why did that one get me last night? I don't know. Why was I so infuriated last night?
Close ones like that are a little bit more tough to deal with.
But the M's have still won 5 of their last 7. And today, George Kirby gets the nod as the M's try and keep building momentum before the break. First pitch in Miami at 3:40, 2:30 pregame. Take every pitch with you on the Seattle Sports app.
Looking for a new Mazda? Check out Mazda of Everett during the More to Move You sales event. As the West Coast's largest Mazda dealer, they have over 700 new Mazdas in stock and are known for always offering the Mazda of Everett price. Awarded Mazda's President's Award 13 years in a row and ranked among the top 20 Mazda dealers in the USA for customer service. Shop at 11409 Highway 99 in Everett or MazdaofEverett.com. Dealer awards and rankings based on Mazda USA reporting and data.
Pests and poor insulation have something in common. One call to Eastside Exterminators takes care of both. For more than 50 years, families across Western Washington have trusted Eastside Exterminators to eliminate pests for good and protect homes from crawl space to attic. With dedicated insulation services and the state's only smart pest detection technology. From Everett to Federal Way, one call handles it all. 425-482-2271 or visit EastsideExterminators.com. Eastside Exterminators, family first pest control.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best. Why Seattle and Seattle Sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. That's woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, I'm not one to say I told you so, but do you remember last year when I told you that Pure Talk was hands down the best wireless company that I'd ever used? Well, some of you were skeptical, but Consumer Reports just asked 120,000 people to rate every wireless company in America, including the big boys. Well, guess which company was the only company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. Coverage, support, value, data. 5 stars across the board. No service contracts, no cancellation fees, just great U.S. customer service on a crazy fast 5G network for a fraction of what you've been paying. I'm not going to say I told you so, but I will encourage you one more time to dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to a 5-star American wireless company that won't let you down. Pure Talk.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Heat up your 4th of July at the Home Depot with our wide variety of grills under $300 and make every gathering one to remember. Give your outdoor space a glow up. Whatever your budget is, with savings on seasonal plants starting at $5. With the grill fired up and your backyard set to perfection, you'll be able to invite friends and family over to kick off the party. Start celebrating with low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Prices may vary by store. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I'm realizing in real time I didn't realize what a wheelbarrow was. That's the thing that you push around and it has the wheel on it.
Yes.
Okay, I was thinking of circle crate. A circle crate, a spherical crate. What's that called?
A barrel.
A barrel.
We already figured this out.
That's a word I said.
This is
yes.
like earlier.
What are we doing here?
This is like earlier when I asked you guys what a boat pilot is called. No, what's a boat pilot? What are they called again? Sometimes
captain.
The words just evade me.
Circle crate.
I had to like triple check that this was real. The NFL's YouTube page, I should say, is putting out their season preview for each team. And it's like each one is like a 13 to 15 minute watch, breaking down a ton of stuff. At the very end of each of these season previews for each of these teams, they have predictions on the season record from 7 NFL contributors. So Colleen Wolfe, Nick Shook, Bucky Brooks, names you're plenty familiar with. So I saw someone say, oh my God, I can't believe Bucky Brooks has the Seahawks going 7-10. And I said, now what were you looking at? Like, there's no way. I mean, I could, look, most of these analysts, I'll say, don't have the Seahawks winning the division. The vast majority of people chose a better record for the Rams. None of us are shocked about that. We've been talking about that all offseason. But Bucky Brooks has the Seahawks going 7-10.
7-10.
7-10. And bump. In case you're wondering, yes, I did go and look at the record prediction that he had for the Rams and 49ers. He has the Rams at 13-4 and the 49ers at 10-7. So he has the Seahawks finishing third in the NFC West.
Third in that thing, huh?
What does he see that I don't?
I think it comes down to his lack of belief in Samuel, the new offensive coordinator. Maybe he's thinking offensive line. You know what I'm thinking, too? I'm thinking that he thinks the Hawks lose 2 to the Rams and 1 to the Niners. So that's going to jack their schedule up a little bit. I'm looking at the rest of their schedule, tough games that they'll play. We'll see what the Commanders look like. I think Denver's going to be good, that defense. Chicago, that offense, we'll see. I said you got to play the NFC East, too. We talked about yesterday or the day before that we feel like could be a really competitive division. I don't know. I don't know. I don't see 7 wins. You know what I'm going to say? At least 10. At least 10 wins.
And I think that's fair. Here's why it gave me pause. I don't think Bucky Brooks is just like a hater. Bucky Brooks is really smart.
Yeah.
And we've had him on as a guest before.
Mm-hmm.
He is just blunt. There are times when I'm like, does he hate me? He's just very blunt and upfront about what he thinks about every team. He doesn't really play favorites. He and Daniel Jeremiah had the Move the Sticks podcast where they just know a ton. And so it's one thing if a Rams fan says, you guys got a flukish 2-point conversion, whatever, you're not going to make it. It's like, yeah, it's kind of your job as a fan to be like, my team's better than yours. I don't blame you. But when an NFL analyst who has no rooting interest in either team really pretty confidently
here's
has
the thing.
Third.
When you projecting records it's almost impossible. You don't really know because there are injuries that could happen, other teams that could not live up to expectations. This team might. You're going off of your gut. Yeah, you're going off of your analysis. You're going off of the players and the division, the coaching staff, who's available, who's not available. Maybe he's looking at the loss of Ken Walker and saying that's going to hit this team extremely hard. But at the end of the day, it's an educated guess. And there were a lot of educated guessers last year who got this whole thing completely wrong. So I respect Bucky. I'm not going to say that these guys are going to win 15 games again. I always hover around 10 or 11. That's what good teams in the NFL, minimum games they win in the NFL. You're a good football team, 10 or 11. I start there, and then as the season progresses, I give a bit more of a deeper analysis. But it's that time of the year, Stacey.
Okay.
It's going to throw stuff out there.
Let me rephrase this question. What's a bigger contributing factor to a lack of faith in the Seahawks this year from some national voices? The Rams adding Trent McDuffie and especially Myles Garrett, or the Seahawks losing some of their free agents? What's
the addition?
Yeah,
the addition
I think
of Myles
so.
Garrett.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think that those 2 trades for LA, most especially the second for Myles Garrett, all but nail in the coffin for the Seahawks for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think Bucky is also going off of the conversation we had earlier, just the lack of drama, of splash over here in Seattle. There was no Myles Garrett edition. There was no Trent McDuffie. And I think he's looking at the 49ers and saying, well, they weren't healthy last year.
That's true because he has them second.
Yeah, they weren't healthy last year. I'll never sleep on the Niners. I'll never sleep on the Rams either. As long as McVay and Shanahan are over there, I'm never going to sleep on them. But why would he think a coach like Mike McDonald would take his team would take such a drastic fall?
That would be his
15
worst
wins
record.
to 7. Yeah, it's just and I know we got a sample size of Coach McDonald. What was this? His second year or third year?
This is going to be his third after going 10 wins and 14 wins.
Yeah. But I think he likes the rosters of the 49ers and the Rams better than this roster.
I think that's true.
Yep.
I think it does ultimately come back to a lack of faith in Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a lot of interceptions thrown during the regular season, so much so that was kind of the single biggest red flag for a lot of people heading into the postseason. Because he didn't throw an interception in the postseason, I wonder if people think, well, that's certainly flukish and it's going to regress back to the mean. But to me, so too would his regular season interceptions, but in the opposite way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He got pretty, I don't want to say unlucky, but 4 turnovers in a game against the Rams. You looked at it, it was 6 or 7 total turnovers against the Rams. That's also stuff that you're probably going to really work on correcting in the offseason that I don't know if every single time you get that many picks. I don't know that it's that you can count on Sam not throwing a pick in the postseason again. Can you count on him guaranteeing you 14 interceptions in the regular season or 15 or 16? That's a lot.
Yeah, he must not believe in the redhead.
I think it's a Darnold thing.
Must not believe in redhead.
No.
That's what most of these conversations come down to.
Sam Darnold.
Just the belief in Sam Darnold. And I think what's jacked up about that is that his mistakes shine brighter than the moments where he clutched up and won ball games for this team. There are 4 or 5 games, I looked it up maybe last week, 4 or 5 games he's accounted for the game-winning drive. And for some reason, people ignore that. I think they're not dumb to look at the interceptions. I mean, you have to, if we're going to talk about how great he is, we got to talk about some of the things that drove us crazy too. But you've already mentioned it. 6 interceptions against just the Rams alone. You take away that, it was 8. Now he has 8 interceptions with 25 or 30 touchdowns, and we feel completely different about him. It's his performances against who people consider to be the elite teams, one being the Rams, that really deter people from buying into it.
Speaking of performances against the elite teams, I can totally buy a preseason take that goes, you know what? I think the Rams are going to finish top in the division. I wouldn't be shocked if they swept the Seahawks even in best of 3 because they meet again in the playoffs. I'd be like, okay, but I can understand your take there, and I'm not even going to judge it or hate on it or whatever. But you're talking 7-10. Now you're talking about them losing game. What other NFC teams do you see them facing where you go, oh, suddenly I have way more faith in the Eagles or the Bears or the Cowboys? If you're going 7-10, it's because there's another NFC team you think is going to be a much better contender than Seattle that wasn't really in the picture this time around. It's because you have a lot more faith in the Giants or whoever else. I actually don't know that they play the Giants this year. But my point being, that's going to include some losses to teams that last year, you never would have thought they'd lose to.
Yeah. I mean,
so I wonder if that's part of
their
it. Their
schedule does look tougher than last year. I mean, the Chargers are always going to put up a fight. They're offensively, at least. Kansas City's going to be tough if Mahomes is healthy. I think the Bears are going to be tough. Dallas is going to put up points. Philly, they don't have an easy schedule.
No.
But I also think that they have something special over here, too.
The Mariners, we figure, are maybe holding off on doing a couple things, trying to keep guys healthy for the postseason. On the one hand, Bump and I completely understand. On the other, we think that there's one change that they should make. That's coming up next.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader. Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Windows are our home's top target for break-ins. At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we offer added security with our exclusive 3-layer security glass protection. Combined with our lifetime warranty, you'll have lifetime peace of mind. Choose Lake Washington Windows and Doors, a name you can trust.
Stay cool this summer and save big. Lake Washington Windows and Doors delivers the quality, comfort, and energy-saving performance you deserve. During July, buy 3 windows or doors and get 1 free. Plus, make no payments for 12 months. LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Need a heavy lift? Levitt Machinery is now your Taylor lift equipment dealer in Washington and Oregon. Engineered for extreme duty durability. Taylors are designed for demanding environments with uptime built into every machine. When the work is tough, Taylor delivers. And now backed by Levitt Machinery in the Pacific Northwest. LevittMachinery.com. Give us a call today. Stack it, reach it, lift it, Levitt.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
When you buy a new vehicle from Lee Johnson, you'll get a lifetime powertrain warranty included.
Whatever the heat index, stay cool this summer. Ask your Bryant dealer to maintain your current system or install an energy-efficient Evolution system. Learn more and schedule an appointment with a factory-authorized dealer today at BryantNorthwest.com. Whatever it takes.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents wisdom from the road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-572-3344. That's 800-572-3344.
When you see this in your kitchen,
the stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman Stainless Steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners dropped their series opener to the Marlins yesterday in the 10th when Weston Wilson was thrown out on a base-running mistake to limit scoring opportunities, and Michael Rucker gave up an RBI single to Jacob Marcy for the Marlins' walk-off win. George Kirby gets the start today. Seattle looks to strike back in Game 2. First pitch at 3:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. To begin the show, we talked about some things we didn't love from last night's game, outside of a loss and outside of having another team walk it off in extras, outside of leaving runners stranded, which was the thing that Bump and I really pointed to. Both you and I, Bump, were wondering, why doesn't Dan leave bullpen arms in for an extra out or two?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be like, long relievers or like a bunch of innings. It could just be getting the next out or getting the next most important out. And yeah, it wasn't great seeing a name you aren't super familiar with in a pretty high leverage moment in the 10th. But like, what else were you going to do? You put yourself there by some earlier decisions. And one theory, Bump, that both of us had was, well, maybe they're trying to save bullpen arms. Maybe they're thinking about last year, getting all the way to Game 7 of the ALCS when not just their bullpen, but their starters were really taxed and had been injured over the course of the year, and they really could have used a healthier pen and a healthier rotation. But then I asked you, well, Bump, Dan hasn't gone on record and said that, but like, what if just you and Bump talking with, or you and Bump, just you and Justin talking, just Bump and Justin. And what if Justin Hollander said, yeah, we're just trying to be careful about injuries? What would you say?
I would say I get it. You've been hurt before. We've been hurt before. I understand that. I would also say, look, man, it's not like you have a 7-game lead in your division, right? You're a half a game up on the Rangers. Julio's out right now. Donovan's out right now. Cal is just trying to get back into the swing of things. We're seeing names in this lineup that we're not used to seeing. I forgot Master Boney was even here, honestly.
How dare you?
No disrespect. I was like, oh, snaps. Yeah, you're right. You're not a dominant team, right? Dominant teams have 10-game leads, 14-game leads in their division and can afford to let off the gas a little bit and kind of cruise down the hill. We're not on the hill. We're on an incline right now. We're on an incline because of all the injuries and the talent in this on this roster. So I would tell them, I understand. I feel you. I don't like it. I understand it. But let's keep going. Let's keep applying pressure and do everything we can to widen this gap.
I'm with you. I think I have entered the show and I'm leaving the show with 2 beliefs. One, regular season wins still count. They still matter, especially when it comes to winning a series against an American League team that's going to be vying for a top playoff seed. You've lost your season series to Cleveland, right? You don't want to lose those series that will end up mattering for you quite a bit when you're trying to get one of the top seeds in the American League. And 2, I don't think that the Mariners can just wait and see whether or not the offense improves before deciding to make a move. And that to me is especially true when it comes to a right-handed bat and adding to that pen. I think that they need to do that. And I think that I'm optimistic that Cal can take some steps forward. I've been liking the version of Cal we've seen at times. I'm using Cal as an example. He's the primary name we've talked about here. But by early August, by MLB's trade deadline, I don't think we're going to be seeing a Cal that's looking like the best version of Cal. I don't think you can wait until the offense really shows you it can contend. I think you just kind of have to decide that this team, based on how great your pitching is, maybe based on how down the American League is worth taking a shot on and is worth getting out and going to get someone and being a little more aggressive at the deadline.
92 games in. You know who this team is at this point. They're a team that you know, but you also feel can get better. The can part is a part that can get tricky. I think they can. I think Cal can look something like he did last year. I think when Julio gets back, he can be okay. I think Donovan can help this team. Now, but what do you know about this team right now is that offensively, they have been consistent. Where they go, 13, how many games without only scoring 3 runs a game?
Oh, I think 13.
13 games?
Tied a franchise record.
They're a team that can do that has done that. So I get the cautiousness because you don't want to repeat some of your mistakes, but you also don't want to be complacent. I don't think they're complacent. I don't think Jerry sits around and Justin sits around and say, oh, no, we're good. There's nothing we have to do here. Mm-hmm. But we said it earlier, we would love to feel like a sense of urgency. Mm-hmm. There's no reason to me why Munoz shouldn't have been back out there. Just put him back out there. He can handle. Munoz has thrown how many? What's the most pitches he's thrown this year? Let me look. Munoz, he's been in that situation before. Unless, and these are part that we don't know, unless Munoz is like, no, I just don't feel comfortable doing it. He's got games. There's a 21 pitch game, 25 pitch game, 23 pitch game, 26, 24, 25. And he threw 10 pitches last night. It's like, all right, let's get him to a place that he's been before, right? Let's get him to 20, 25 pitches, and then if you're feeling worried about it, then you take him out.
Really good point. Yeah, I would have liked to see him back out there. A little bit of sound here as we continue to talk about the trade deadline and what the Mariners should do. Keith Law, kind of, I don't want to say a hands-off approach, but feels like the best form of help won't actually come from outside the organization.
There's nothing the Mariners can do externally that's going to be as helpful as getting their own players to perform up to what you might call expectations, projections. I don't think it was reasonable to think Cal Raleigh was going to repeat last year, but he has been nothing close to what he was last year. Josh Naylor has fallen off. Julio has not really been the player I think we expected him to be. They've gotten a lot of their offense from some maybe more surprising corners, and they've gotten obviously great contributions from some of the younger players, particularly Colt Emerson. But ultimately, for the Mariners to have a truly playoff caliber offense, I think that's going to require the veterans to start playing like they did last year over the course of multiple years. We just haven't really seen that.
Yes, true. I don't think either of us disagree with that. And there is no bat at this trade deadline you could acquire that would be as good as like peak Cal Raleigh or like Cal Raleigh when he's hot, right? And that is the most important part of the recipe for you to actually make a push in the postseason or try to get to a World Series, so that your stars look like stars. But why not build a safety net? What if you don't end up getting a great version of Cal offensively? Sure, he's going to continue his work with the pitchers, and they have a great relationship there, and he's great defensively. He's a good leader in your clubhouse. All of that's true, regardless of whether or not he's still a little banged up or the bat's just not there. But, like, what if you don't even get 2024 Cal Raleigh? Don't you still need to kind of go, well, let me create a safety net and go out and get someone? They're not going to be as good as Cal. They're not going to be a top bat, but, like, I don't think that you can just sit on your hands. And as complicated as this trade deadline will be, I think the pitching has done enough to show you that it's worth taking some swings.
Yeah, I think so. I think the hardest part about this whole thing is that we haven't seen this team at full strength. We haven't seen it. Maybe day one, opening day, maybe the first series or two.
Not even, because Miller started on the IL and Crawford started on the IL.
There you go. Like, we haven't seen this team
like 4 games
at full strength. And sometimes that's just how a season goes. Sometimes you never get all your guys back. Sometimes you got to get creative with your lineups, which we've seen. Talking about being creative, this lineup has been really creative this year, the most creative I've ever seen it. Sometimes that's just who your team is. That's why I say look at for who they are now and what the identity of this season has been. The identity of the season to me is that the pitching, for the most part, will be okay, but you just got that injury bug this year. Some teams just have it. We've been the team that doesn't have it before. It seems like this year you're the team who has it, and you're not getting the contributions that you got last year from Cal. I don't think anyone expected Cal to hit 60 bombs this year, but we expect him to be around 25, 30 of those things. But they're the decision makers, and it's tough. They don't have an easy job. It's not like they can just call up a team and say, hey, Baltimore, give me Taylor Ward. You know what I mean? It's not like it's not that easy. And I get that part. But you do have some assets that can sweeten the pot a little bit if you do go out there and try to be aggressive.
Yeah, 206 pointing out there's not a ton out there to get. They're right. It's a weird trade deadline. Yeah. There's not going to be a ton of sellers because everyone's kind of still in it. You're exactly like, I'm not going to be banging the table going, how dare they, if they only add just kind of like a right-handed outfielder to plug and play against lefty. Great. Like, that helps you. I'm looking for any boost when it comes to what you can do for this lineup. But I just think that I'd love to see, I hope, some kind of aggressiveness there and a willingness to take advantage, even though your team is underperformed, of a real opportunity in the American League. And to get back to our first point, Bump's right. Like, you can't only have your eyes on the postseason. It's great you still have confidence. You can't only keep your eyes on the postseason and only try to play for, like, hey, we're going to be healthy in October, when these regular season games still very much matter. And forget trying to get tiebreakers over American League teams, Bump. What about just vibes? You've been in locker rooms before, right? Like, what about what just getting a good series win can do to the feeling of a clubhouse and the confidence in a clubhouse?
It changes everything. You start believing. I mean, we heard Ryan talk about the emotions in the clubhouse. You know, you got the Rangers who are in a series right now with the Angels, won their first game 8-3. Right, you mess around, you might mess around and find out. Thankfully, they're going up against the Astros after that. But you kind of got to look at what's going on around you as well. And I think they're looking around and saying, we have more talent than these teams in our division. We should be okay. But I think you also got to look at it and say, all right, well, how are they playing and who are they playing? And what's the projection over there in Texas? It's just such a tough thing to do because you play so many games. You play almost every day. You can be high on a team one day, low on a team the next day. But 90-something games in, I think you have an idea of who this team is and just what kind of season you're having. You are having an injury-riddled season. You are not hitting lefties. You know, this is who you are. This isn't fake anymore. This ain't
let's wait and see.
April. You know what I mean? Where we're just saying, we don't know until June. June is come and gone. It is July 8th. So yeah, I always want to point out though that they have a tough job, man. And everyone we've spoken to or heard talk about what's out there always come back to, well, there's not really a lot out there because the season is so weird with teams still being in it this deep into the season.
Still to come. We are going to stick with the Mariners coming up at 1:30. We have a couple questions in from the text line, specifically when it comes to like, okay, well, if those regular season wins matter just as much and you want to prioritize them, like, who's that on? I think what people are asking mostly is like, what is Dan's role here? I think that's the most popular question we're getting. So we'll kind of turn in that direction at 1:30. At 1:45, it's what I need to know, and I could use a couple more questions. Sports, non-sports, does not matter. Text those in now, 866-979-3776. Let's get to 4 Down territory.
This is 4 Down territory, going inside the game with former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down. Is it flying cars? What do you think is a real possibility in 2028?
I was going back and forth with someone on the text line about this because we kind of talked about it briefly. Look, U.S. should be favored to win in the Olympics, flag football. They should be able. It's our game. Let's go. But I caution people that it's not just going to be we're just walking all over people. It could happen, but in flag football, things are just different. Teams get hot. You don't need a 300-pounder out there. Your pool of talent is a lot bigger because you don't need a Grace Abel, right? You average-sized dudes who play in these flag football leagues all across the country. So no, I'm saying just be cautious. I wouldn't go in as cocky as Argentina going into the World Cup. Like I think there's going to be some challenges on both sides, the men and the women's side. I looked them up. They've been dominant. They don't lose very often. But one team gets hot, and you never really know. And also, big ups to girls flag football. If you have not watched girls flag football, it is some of the most entertaining stuff I've ever seen. I talked about evolution at the tight end position earlier. Evolution of the woman athlete is one of the most fun things that I've seen. I follow some women flag football players, and they're moving the way I was moving and grooving in college. And these young women are in high school. It's crazy the training that they're getting and how they're embracing the game. I think this is going to be the next big women's league, another women's league, the AUSL, I believe, softball league for women too. Watch that as well. I'm proud of the ladies, man. Yeah. Y'all doing your thing.
There's a lot of people that hate on it purely out of a place of like hate or insecurity. I don't think like a secure, happy person hates on anyone for any reason. And I think they do it without watching it.
Yeah.
You're right. Like, I think there's a ton of people that they just have no idea, like, especially with youth sports, or you mentioned flag football being a major one. Like the Seahawks have been really backing it for girls flag football. Everyone was really disappointed when WIA didn't like make it. What was it? They were trying to make it a sport.
It is.
Recognized.
It is now.
Yeah. But initially it failed, and people were really, really upset about it because they were like, this is amazing. It's a great opportunity for girls, and they're crushing it.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get my daughter into it. She'd be nice.
Well, it's never too late.
It's never too late.
Second down. What's something you wish would happen to Lumen Field?
Big ups to the World Cup. It was fun. I was downtown for the Australia game, for the game we just lost to Belgium. I was there for the Egypt game, and then I was downtown for one more game. It was just, you wanted to be there. But when I'm watching it on TV, I'm watching Seattle on TV, I text my homie and go, why does Lumen look just beautiful right now? It looks different. It's hitting different. And he was like, man, it's because of the grass. The grass just brings it to life. I go, you're absolutely right. Grass does bring it to life. And I wish that the NFL would go to grass. And I know the majority of the players wish that they would go to grass as well. I got a kid I train who plays for the Patriots, and they're doing their training in North Carolina with Drake May. And A.J. Brown texted the group and said, just make sure we train on grass. Like, that's how serious football players are about grass. Even if the numbers suggest that it's not a big difference when it comes to injuries, it don't matter. Grass feels better for us football players. And it just looks so great. So I wish Lumen would keep the grass. I know they're not going to keep it. It's hard to maintain. I understand that. Soccer's different. You don't have 300-pounders just digging their heels into the ground. But it just looks great and I wish we'd keep it.
Earlier in the show, I asked you how many NFL stadiums actually use grass versus turf, and I was shocked that you said it was half. I'd be curious to know what kind of money we're talking about in terms of what's difficult to maintain.
Yeah.
Because Baltimore was one of the, you know what I mean? There's still, there's some northern teams. Like, it's one thing to be like, oh, in Seattle, it's going to be pouring down rain, it's going to be freezing, it'll be muddy, it'll be gross, you have to maintain it, you have to share a season, but like, it's not like every natural grass field is in Miami.
No, I was surprised with the list.
Yeah.
Half of the teams in the NFL have grass. I thought it was going to be like 5 or 6 have grass.
Same.
Yeah.
Third down. What did Broncos players do that you love?
I love this, man. I don't know Sean Payton personally. I don't like the way he treated Russell, even though Russell did bring a lot of the drama when it comes to his office and all the other requests that he had. But it was 4th and 11 against the Buffalo Bills, and Sean Payton calls in a fake punt. And the players line up, and they don't run it. And in this article I read, Payton said he didn't see anything to deter the guys from running the fake punt. You know, there are checks. And if I have a play called in and my quarterback sees a different defense, you check into different plays. Same thing with punts and punt returns. Your up back is the guy who kind of makes sure everything's aligned. Okay, let's run this play. And it went against him. And I think it's good for everyone to be humbled every now and then. And Sean Payton was humbled in that moment. I like the players taking back the power and saying, no, we don't like it. It's 4th and 11. We don't want to give Josh Allen the football in our own territory. Let's just kick this thing and make him go 70-plus yards. I was all for it.
I'm shocked that I wonder how often that happens, that a play caller will just blatantly have a player. It can't be often.
It's not often.
It cannot be something that regularly occurs.
Well, with offenses, you typically get 2 plays. You got the play that the offensive coordinator calls, and then
check into something
the check.
else.
You know, oh, this is set up for disaster. Let's move. But rarely do you see this in the kicking game. So I appreciate that.
4th down. Who do you want to hear from again?
I want to hear from Fleury. We were the first one to interview him when he got the job. And he seemed like a confident dude. I mean, he's been in the NFL for a long time, played linebacker, coached linebacker, tight ends, been with Shanahan for 7 years. He wouldn't have a job if he wasn't confident in what he's doing. But there's something that happens to players and coaches as they settle in. There's a transformation that happens. We talked about it earlier. We saw Mike McDonald do that. We interviewed him fresh off the plane. Comes into the Cortez room, and he's a confident dude. But you see him now, it's just different. It's like he's validated. He knows this stuff works. He believes in it even more. And I want to see the same thing with Brian Fleury. I want to see how he was, a few months ago. I want to see him now. I want to check in during the first few weeks and then at the end of the year to watch the evolution, because it's a fun thing to watch. I'm all into that's why I like watching youth sports. When I find someone young, that's why I'm following this 4-year-old on Instagram.
Again, that's weird. You gotta be careful how you.
It's his dad's account. Like, dad's running it.
Okay.
He's a baseball kid.
I follow this guy who posts a lot of videos of his kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's his son's account, but obviously he's running it.
Right.
And
we just want to be careful.
He's a baseball dude. He's bats lefty and righty, and he's just special. And I like seeing just the transformation of athletes and coaches. So no, I want to check in with Fleury. Man, Fleury, you want to come on our show? You're more than welcome.
More than welcome.
Let's do this.
What do you remember about him when we talked to him? Because we weren't able to do that in person. He had just done his opening press conference. We chatted on video with him at Virginia Mason Athletic Center. Do you remember what stood out to you? It was a while ago.
He gave me linebacker vibes.
What's that mean?
You know, they have those eyes that are just like
crazy eyes,
piercing. You know,
he
gave me linebacker vibes. When I even asked him, I said, "Why do you think you're ready for the opportunity now?" And he talked about his preparation. You know, he's been preparing for this opportunity his whole football career. So I felt the confidence. And then you hear about who said that he has complete command over the offense. Was that Sam that said that? And then you're hearing that from Sam. So that's good stuff. I don't think Sam would ever say anything bad about a coach anyway, but you don't have to say that. If it ain't real, you're not going to say that. So yeah, I remember believing in him, and then I went back and watched the 49ers offense and wondered how much of that is going to come over here. I respect the 49ers offense. I like it. I like the way they use their tight ends. I like the way they use their running back. So we'll see how he does.
That's kind of like the one big question mark to me. Like, if people are doubting the Seahawks because they go, oh, they didn't add a lot in the offseason, or they lost Tariq Woolen, so I wonder how the defense will be. I kind of go, oh, I don't know how tuned into this team you were. But if you go, I'm curious to see what the running back room is going to look like, and you have a brand new offensive coordinator, those are the times when I go, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair critique. You're actually tuned into what this team is doing, and it is completely fair to go, yeah, getting a new play caller is a big deal.
Yep.
And maybe he's absolutely phenomenal. He's from the same coaching tree, but you never know.
Never know.
But yeah, I think it's kind of lame to base it on like, oh, they lost Tariq Woolen, so they might finish third behind the 49ers. Bucky, what are you doing? You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. What I need to know coming up at 1:45, get those questions in now. Any question, text it 866-979-3776.
A rough start to the final road trip of the first half.
The Marlins have walked off the Mariners 6-5.
Why did that one get me last night?
I don't know.
Why was I so infuriated last night?
The close ones like that are a little bit more tough to deal with.
But the M's have still won 5 of their last 7. And today, George Kirby gets the nod as the M's try and keep building momentum before the break. First pitch in Miami at 3:40, 2:30 pregame. Take every pitch with you on the Seattle Sports app.
Summer is the time to feel and look your best, but I'm not talking about your abs or tan. Guys, I'm talking about your hair. Restore that bald spot, reverse your receding hairline, or add volume to thinning during Advanced Hair's once yearly summer savings event. Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment begins to regrow your very own hair the very next day, and they guarantee your new hair will grow. They are the team that addressed my hair loss, and I recommend them to everyone. Take advantage of your flexible summer calendar and get the most hair for your dollar. Advanced Hair's summer sales event is on for a limited time. So get the details and schedule your free consultation today. 425-449-8185. One-day treatment, life-changing results. With Advanced Hair, your new hair is guaranteed to grow. Check out the incredible before and afters and make the call now while their summer savings event is still on. That's 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
In 2026, Bay Alarm celebrates 80 years of security. With burglar and fire alarm systems, 24/7 in-house monitoring, and local service, our promise to the Puget Sound remains the same. We got you. Learn more at bayalarm.com.
What is that sound? Ugh, that sounds like a plumbing sound. Luckily, there's a company that fixes all the plumbing sounds across Puget Sound. That's All Sound Plumbing. Puget Sound's plumbing experts. Have a sound? Visit allsoundplumbing.com.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the 4 walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. Get a free oil filter and more during the Celebrate Free event at AutoZone, now through July 27th.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
If there's one thing you can count on, it's 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. And if there's 2 things you can count on, it's your smoke detector battery dying at 3 a.m. Not 3 p.m. on a Saturday when you have nothing going on, but in the middle of the night when you're fast asleep.
Oh, come on!
Get 24/7 protection when you bundle home and auto with Progressive. Just one more thing you can count on. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone, now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Dave Wyman here, and the folks at Bellevue Rare Coins say higher prices have enticed more Americans to cash out their jewelry, gold, and silver items. Here's a story from a real customer. She walked into Bellevue Rare Coins with an old bag of jewelry, a little bit nervous, a little bit embarrassed because it was mostly old tangled chains and pieces she hadn't looked at in years. When they gave her the total, she couldn't believe what it was worth. Go see what your jewelry is worth with a free consultation. Bellevue Rare Coins is now in Linwood, Issaquah, Tacoma, and Bellevue.
Here in the Pacific Northwest, windows can be one of the best investments you can make to add value to your home. At Dunn Lumber, we have designated Milgard window specialists who have been trained by Milgard to best serve your needs. If you need help finding the right windows for your home, come by one of our 4 Dunn Lumber window showrooms. Or reach out to me personally, Mike Dunn at DunnLumber.com.
Dunn Lumber, building success together.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
This is what I need to know that I'm actually going to introduce here because we're talking Mariners here. They said a question for Curtis's Conspiracy Corner. With the recent announcement of no more piggybacking until the All-Star break, do you think the Mariners ever actually intended to follow through with the rotational piggyback plan that was scrapped? Or do you think it was just smoke and mirrors to appease Castillo and Miller and make it seem like they weren't being singled out?
I love that, 206. I love that you've taken a creation of mine and brought it to the show. I love that.
Get our tin hats on.
I've never thought of it that way, but now I'm believing.
No, that quick.
Thank you, 206.
So you think that they were never, ever, ever going to go with Logan's starting and then Emerson's going to follow up and then we're going to have Kirby and Wu.
Yeah. And it only turned out to be Castillo and Miller.
Bump, what about you?
It looks that way. It smells that way.
It must be that way.
It must be that way. No, I think, I also think that I'm going to leave room for just things changing. Maybe they thought it was a good idea. You came out, you said it, and you're like, actually, let's just stick with those guys piggybacking. And you have a conversation with those guys to let them know what the deal is.
Yeah. I think the piggybacking isn't something that they ever intended to be long-term anyways. Mm-hmm. So they were probably okay with being kind of up in the air and loosey-goosey about it.
Yeah.
With we don't need to find out the right approach to this because we're not even going to keep it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I could kind of see that. And look, it did make the most sense for Castillo, who was struggling, and Miller, who was coming off the IL. It didn't make as much sense for Logan, who's been eating up innings of late and improving, or for Emerson, who's been your best pitcher. It didn't make sense to split them up. But yeah, I'm buying in. 206 has me convinced on that one.
Yeah, it's look, when the idea of the piggyback was introduced, I think we were my question I had for all the experts we had on our show was, all right, who's done this before and how long do you think this is going to last? This ain't a permanent thing. It's not a fix, right? This is like an experimental type thing. And I think the experiment went fairly well. I think Miller he definitely played the best out of the two during the piggyback situation. But then there's been a progression. It was all right, well, piggyback. 6-man. Now what?
This is naturally leading to what I wanted to talk about here, because I don't know that talking about the piggyback makes me angry. I know some people hate it. Some people are like, oh, and the piggyback, and they can't wait to go off. And I totally get it, because there's been plenty of frustrating things with this team this year. But my thing with the piggyback, and you said this too, was that the communication needed to be on point and clearly wasn't, which brings us to what I wanted to talk about here. I'm wondering what Dan's role is here, what we want to see more of from him, and what we feel like is fair to blame Dan for and not. For instance, I agree with Ryan Divish, who was on with us earlier. I don't blame Dan for pulling Canzone, who's been dealing with a hamstring injury, out of the game to try to get a faster base runner on. That base runner made a mistake. I doubt Dan Wilson was like, hey, by the way, Weston, make sure that you make sure that on contact for a ground out, you sprint to third. I don't think that's a conversation that Dan Wilson had with him. So there are some things that I don't blame Dan for per se. I don't think Dan chose to have Ref Snyder in this lineup. Where you hit Ref Snyder, yeah. How long certain relievers stay in games, I do wonder. Sure. The usage and order of them, I do wonder that, yeah. And then what I'm most curious about is I'm just saying your opinion, but you said earlier, who is going to be bad cop here? Who is going to be the person that with errors that you don't need to be committing? And I'm not just talking about the ones that because JDP shortstop is at third for the first time and a little older you're making. I'm talking about the ones that you shouldn't be making. Mm-hmm. Who's enforcing a sense of urgency or discipline or having tough conversations? That's the question I have at the end of today.
Yeah.
And that's the conversation I like having here. And I don't even know that we're getting an answer, but if we're sitting here going, I want to see more fire from the team. Well, what's Dan Wilson's role with that?
And it's tough too, man, because there's so many games to be played. I know in football, during the football season when I was a head coach, I got 5 inspirational speeches. And then it's coaches, go get them.
Anyone
now.
Else have one? Or?
Right, because I'm out. They're tired of hearing my voice now.
You said this is a game of inches.
Yeah, you got to claw. And 162 games, you can't be standing up in front of the squad.
Yeah.
Not even every series. You need to take breaks. So how often can Dan even have those conversations to get these guys fired up? And does he even have that in his personality? From what I know, he's more of the, your son gets in trouble, sit down, son, let me talk to you. This is why I have to punish you. He's not the dad that gets all crazy and takes things and does all that. So do they have that on staff? I hope they do. And if they do, I don't know how many times you've done it, might be time to do that again.
Yeah. I think it is unfair for me to expect that Dan Wilson become the best tactical manager in baseball over the next 2 months.
Yeah.
However, I don't ever want to see a starter look as confused or frustrated as Luis Castillo and Brian Miller did. I think it's fair. Mm-hmm. I think it's fair to want a manager to be really good or at least really intent about communicating. So that's something that I think is fair to ask for Dan and expect from Dan and kind of track as the season goes along. Yeah. Does this look like a team where things are being communicated? That's what I'm watching. And it's going to be really hard to figure out the answer to that. But that to me, when it comes to fair expectations for Dan, complaining about Dan sometimes with bullpen management is okay, and what's new? There's, and I know I started the show by doing it, but if you're going to say that a guy's great with the clubhouse, and by all accounts he is, by all accounts guys really like him, part of that to me is communication, tough conversations, keeping guys together and focused, the sense of urgency. That's the stuff that I want to see. I don't know exactly what it looks like, but yeah, I don't want to see something that looks very bluntly that was clearly not communicated. I don't want to see that.
Yeah. And we'll never know, Stacey.
We'll never know.
Because Alex Mayer ain't gonna come on here and tell us. Shannon is not gonna come on here and tell us. What else do we have a show? Gary Hill.
I just think none of us know.
Yeah, I know. Alex might know. Alex might know, but he ain't gonna tell us. everyone else, I'm just naming people who are close to the team, like it's a mystery. That's the thing that happens, right? That's family business. Behind closed doors, no one really knows what's going on. But these are professionals, and it's not like you're talking to 15-year-olds. Pros got to be able to get themselves going too.
There's a little bit of that's being taken off of players that, like, it's not me saying lay off Dan. It's me saying there's an execution issue this year too. Mm-hmm. That's like, it is frustrating. I can point to Dan after a game like that and go, why did you do this? But hey, and not just Cal and Naylor. Cal had 2 doubles. Good for Cal. But, like, you guys have bases loaded, no outs. Like, you had opportunities in the 6th to put this one ahead where you aren't even getting into that situation where you need Rucker to hang on to a tie to send you to the 11th. You didn't need to be there. Mm-hmm. You missed out on those opportunities.
Missed opportunities. You're not good enough to miss too many of those.
Yeah. So that's kind of, there's a very much, you're right, a player execution element to this season that, like, needs to turn around too. Personal accountability, some better communication maybe by the coaching staff and by Dan. Mm-hmm. And maybe big picture at the end of all of our conversations today with Ryan, with Jordan Schusterman, when we were talking about trade deadline stuff, is just the idea of, as frustrating as it might be for someone to hear, the American League is not great right now.
No.
The Mariners are in first place. I got someone that said, next time you say that, I'm going to stop listening. And I get what you mean. I get why you're frustrated, but that's super important context.
It is.
They've played bad baseball. They have missed several players for different lengths of time, varying lengths of times. They've gotten nothing from Cal and kind of off and on production from Julio. And they're still keeping their head above water.
Yet here they are.
So what you actually need is for that stuff to change.
First place Mariners.
What you actually need is for that stuff to change.
Yeah.
Like, that's the difference. Is like, it's great you're in first place. You've been fortunate. But now you need it to affect things a bit differently. So we'll see what the rest of this series carries for us here. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
She's an icon
New owner Jeff Smulyan announced today
whose television journey brought her to Seattle.
Linda Cohn, Cairo Sports.
Before 26 years at the sports leader.
Hi, Linda.
What's up, Mike? What's up, Brock?
The conversation you do not want to miss.
I love Steve Rabel. Steve Rabel was the man for me in Seattle.
Brock and Salk with the one and only Linda Cohn. Watch in its entirety on the Seattle Sports YouTube channel.
Hey, Mike Salk here, and summer's here at Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. You can check out upcoming shows like the Pop 2000 Tour with Chris Kirkpatrick of NSYNC, O-Town, Ryan Cabrera, and LFO on August 1st, or relive the 80s with pop sensation Taylor Dane on September 6th. You can find tickets at snocasino.com and the full lineup, plus experience luxury with breathtaking Cascade views, world-class dining, and play your favorite games. Elevate your next getaway. That's Seattle's closest, Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Please game responsibly.
Do you have a wood deck that could use a little TLC this season? Start by giving it a good cleaning to remove dirt, pollen, or any mold or mildew. Then, if you're left with gray wood and decide you want to restain, use a wood brightener product first. Finally, when you're ready to bring life and color back into your deck, choose Penifin Ultra Premium Red Label Wood Stain. Its highly penetrating Brazilian rosewood oil formula provides superior protection for your wood deck. Penifin Red Label Wood Stain. On sale now at Dunn Lumber.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here with my buddy, Dr. Daniel Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. The stem cell therapy you did on my knee was a game changer. But Dr. Dan, people ask me all the time if you're seeing the same kind of success treating neck and back pain with stem cell therapy.
Great question, Brock. As you know from your experience, we've had tremendous success treating major joints like hips, knees, and shoulders, but we've also seen excellent results treating neck and lower back pain. In fact, we're the only clinic in the Seattle area offering image-guided stem cell and PRP injection therapy specifically for neck and low back pain.
How cool is that? If joint, neck, or back pain is holding you back, call Dr. Daniel Nelson at Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine and find out if stem cell therapy may be right for you. Dr. Dan here is the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. Call Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD, at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's 425-823-4000 or danielnelsonmd.com.
Guys, I'll never forget the first time I saw somebody get results at our clinic. He was an 81-year-old man who hadn't been intimate with his wife in over 8 years. Viagra had stopped working for him, and he was desperate for help. After several treatments, he walked into my office and told me he couldn't believe the results. Needless to say, this was a very happy man. This man made me a believer in what we do. He had taken pills for years, but he had never fixed the problem. When he came to us, we fixed the problem. Our treatment does what no pill can do. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. Change your life today, like the thousands of men who already have.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Do you know a woman making a difference in Seattle's sports and events community? Someone who leads with purpose, mentors others, champions inclusion, and inspires those around her to be their best? Why Seattle and Seattle Sports want to celebrate her. Nominations are now open for the 2026 Women of Inspiration Award, recognizing an outstanding woman whose impact is helping shape the future of sports and events in our region. Submit your nomination today at woiseattle.org. Nominations close July 10th.
Mariners and Marlins today in Miami. 3:40 first pitch, 2:30 pregame. Get every pitch of every game for free on the Seattle Sports app.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and, of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in to What I Need to Know. Any question, text it now, 866-979-3776. What I Need to Know. Any Seahawks from last year's roster you two expect to make a bigger impact in 2026? I'm taking A.J. Barner off the table because we talked about it earlier.
Oots.
Robbie Oots.
We're going to use him.
I was trying to think of a fun answer.
That's
I
not
feel
fun?
Like,
Fullbacks aren't fun, huh?
No, because I feel like I've said like, oh, Riley Mills or Torrey Horton, and I was trying to think of like what's a much more. No, it is. It's just going to be a second-year guy that was hurt last year. I mean, look, what if Gray Zabel is like a Pro Bowl or an All-Pro? That's a guy that like was a very regular contributor last year that isn't usually part of those conversations. But it's like, what about one of those guys taking the next step rather than just being a guy that's suddenly on the map? It's like, what if we're talking about a guy that's on a national conversation?
Yeah. You get an offensive lineman on national conversation, he's got to be filthy.
That's truly never going to happen. that's I take it back. But yeah, I mean, I'd love for it to be a running back. These are not, in this case, second-year players because we're talking about like a rookie or a guy like Wilson who wasn't with you last year, but I would hope it's one of them.
Hope so.
What I need to know, would Seattle sports shows be better if there was a live DJ involved? That's a great question, and I think so.
How would it be better with a live DJ?
What's not better with
DJ in the
what's not
background?
better with a DJ? Name one thing not better with a live DJ?
He's going to be playing music while we're working?
I just think it's for vibes. It's for us to have fun.
Vibes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, what if you were just trying to make a point and all of a sudden you just hear, everybody! Like,
Exactly.
yeah. Right now.
I
See?
do already have
Are
that.
you like, you're kind of feeling it right now?
Hey, you ready? I already have someone who yells when I'm making a point.
Are you
She's
feeling
sitting
this?
next to me every day. And she'll like, boom, just yell at me. Or ask me a question and then answer the question.
That's my favorite
and then
thing
use
to
my
do.
answer.
Oh, I love that one. That's my favorite. 866-979-3776. See? I'm shocked that Matt didn't say like a funeral, and I was going to say even that's better with a live DJ. You know?
Well, and then you got to throw in a few of these.
Exactly.
You know what's crazy about funerals? When they're done, everyone meets up to eat. People be dancing and laughing and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we got that over with.
At my wake, when you guys plan my funeral and I die, and then you have like the after party for my funeral, I want you guys to talk about how annoying I was. Like, I want it to be just like pure trash talking.
Like a roast?
Yes. Yes. Have a roast of me at my funeral. 866-979-3776. This is sent in by someone coping. What I need to know, have you ever just eaten bacon bits by themselves? This person wants validation.
I've done it before.
That's a depression meal.
That's a depression meal. If
I
you're
didn't
depressed.
go looking for bacon bits, but if you see some in like one of those little containers, like, oh, bacon bits.
I mean,
Got some of those.
I didn't go looking for them, but when you see them, you eat them.
In the salad topping genre, I've definitely
Hierarchy.
eaten croutons on their own.
Yeah.
Just like chips?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have chips.
But you can also have croutons.
I would rather have a chip over a crouton. There's almost
Sure,
no
but if you
chip
don't
I'd
have
rather
chips-
have a crouton
If you don't
instead
have
of.
chips, you could have a crouton.
No, I've never eaten bacon bits, nor I think have I just eaten bacon.
What?
By itself.
You've never just eaten bacon.
Like a strip of bacon.
bacon
You've
is-
never had a strip of bacon.
Bacon's, I mean, sure, but like as part of breakfast. I've never been like, God, I'm so hungry. Let me make myself some bacon. Bacon's a side. It's like, oh my God, I'm starving. Let me make myself some mashed potatoes. There's something missing from it when you eat it. Am I wrong? No, you agree with me. That's why none of you are saying anything.
I was thinking.
Because I'm right.
I've walked by some bacon and just grabbed it on the run.
Yeah, like at a buffet.
Where are you walking
Like a
by?
breakfast buffet?
Yeah, say like my grandma, she'll make some bacon in the morning, and there's some there.
Sure, but I'm
Just grab
talking
it.
like, let me get a plate, load it up with bacon, and sit down. No, I've never had bacon just by
When
itself.
we're cooking
That's
up
psycho.
bacon and we put it on the plate to cool, like we're worried that the plate will be gone because our girls just come up to it and they'll just take bacon. And
Well, they're
go.
toddlers. I'm an adult.
Well, it's gonna be a kindergartner this next year.
I'm just saying, my palate's a little more refined.
Kindergarten. So full-time school? Let's go.
Full time.
Wow.
Let's go.
I know.
Get up and get out.
What I need to know, instead of trying to trade Luis Castillo and his contract, why not trade one of the Mariners' other 4 starters for a big bat or 2? Bring up Cade Anderson and fill that rotation spot, and then just go right back to developing the next young pitcher. Wouldn't that improve the lineup while also keeping the rotation about as strong as it is now?
There's no guarantee that K is going to come in and just wreck, I don't know, rookies, young people scare me.
That's fair.
They scare me.
We know or have at least assumed that Cade is going to be up and that the team's probably going to want to trade one of their starters, but there are certain starters I hope it would not be.
Like who?
I really liked what you gotten from Hancock and Logan.
Yeah.
And Wu at home. Whose home ERA is like 2-something.
The only one I feel like we'd be willing to give up is Castillo.
I think some people would consider Kirby just because it's going to be so hard to hang on to all of the guys that are within that age range.
I mean, Logan's the closest to free agency of any of them.
Yeah, but he's also been maybe your second best guy behind Hancock, arguably. Someone said be sure to have a Caesar salad at Stacy's funeral. That's going to be the centerpiece.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have those people that go from table to table and
Yeah.
they make it in front of you.
Yeah. Ooh, like that the restaurant with the things in the middle that they cook on that are
Hibachi.
Hibachi. That, but Caesar salad. What I need to know. Wow, you guys have made me realize that breakfast is just a meal of sides. Bacon, eggs, and pancakes are all side items.
No, people eat pancakes by themselves.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think pancakes could go either way. Ambidextrous kind of. Switch
Like
it.
eggs, people eat on their own too.
Yeah. But a lot of sides. A lot of sides. What I need to know. Bump moves up my Seattle sports host power rankings for all the soccer work he did recently.
Hey, let's go.
Taking yourself out of the equation, what would your power rankings look like right now, Bump? That's what the question is.
Stacy first.
Stop.
Curtis second.
Oh my God.
Matt's just hanging out, man. He's here for the vibes.
Unrankable.
Off the chart.
Last question.
Undrafted.
Quickly, what I need to know. My coworker doesn't want a second cat, but his wife and 2 sons do. Who should win this battle?
Sounds like you're getting a second cat, my brother.
Yeah. Why are you asking us when you know the answer is that he will get a
You're
second cat?
severely outnumbered in that instance.
Hate to tell you. And now
It feels
outnumbered by
like-
yet another cat.
Yeah, it feels like dads usually, their vote in terms of pets doesn't even count.
Yeah. Invisible vote. Women vote coming up next. The little Beethoven dogs that have the wheelbarrows around their neck. I was thinking of circle crate. A circle crate, a spherical crate. What's that called?
A barrel.
A barrel.
A rough start to the final road trip of the first half.
The Marlins have walked off the Mariners 6-5.
Why did that one get me last night?
I don't know.
Why was I so infuriated last night?
Close ones like that are a little bit more tough to deal with.
But the M's have still won 5 of their last 7. And today, George Kirby gets the nod as the M's try and keep building momentum before the break. First pitch in Miami at 3:40, 2:30 pregame. Take every pitch with you on the Seattle Sports app.
Jane is a small business owner.
That's right.
And tell them what that's like, Jane.
Yeah, well, it's like a roller coaster with a lot of ups and downs, and some days things can feel like they're flying off the rails.
Yep, it's a lot. But the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business can help you manage it all. With the largest, fastest fiber-powered network designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect. Plus gig speeds with security and equipment included. All with a 5-year price lock.
Nice. So everything stays on track.
Exactly. The Total Solutions Advantage. Get started for just $60 a month for 12 months when you add wireless connect to a qualifying internet package. No one does business like Comcast Business.
Limited time offer. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and automatic payments with bank account required. $60 offer requires 300 meg internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
No hot water at 6 a.m. is no way to start your week. The Fast Water Heater Company has been the one to call in Seattle since 1986. And now, as part of Fast Home Services, they're making it even easier. Dave Wyman here. Get $200 off a new tank water heater or $400 off a tankless installation. Call 1-800-THINK-FAST to book your free in-home estimate or visit fasthomeservices.com for a virtual quote in seconds for water heaters, plumbing, HVAC, and electrical services.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change presents Wisdom from the Road.
Summer means wide open spaces and a whole lot of extra miles. The last place you want your engine to give out is halfway to nowhere. Out here, low oil or a weak battery is just an ambush waiting to happen. That's why every oil change at Valvoline Instant Oil Change includes an 18-point maintenance check. These techs are trained to help spot issues early and keep you riding easy.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Change wisely.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Your coffee would never get cold. Your flight would always be on time. and your mattress would always respond to you and your unique sleep needs. Sleep Number mattresses are designed to respond to your body and shift with your changing life, helping you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar 20.